Mic test, mic test. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Buddy Bison stream. I hope we're all having a wonderful day today. Hope we're all prepped and prepared for our journey back into Crossbell and Trails to Zero? To Azure? From Azure? To Azure? But I hope we're all having a good day today. We are back with some Legend Heroes Trails to Azure. But yeah, so basically last stream I finished From Engage. Great game. Loved it. And now we are going to be focusing primarily on Trails to Azure in the going forward. Except for, of course, Saturday streams where I plan to do Persona 5. So yeah, that's that. And basically, until I beat this game, I'm not going to be starting any other games. So take that as you will. But know that once I do finish this game, I will be trying to really focus on sub-goal games, because that's kind of like... those have been stacked up. So I don't want to... I don't want to let those get too deep. Because I think I'm already 12 down in a list. So, I think until then, I'm going to keep the next sub-goal game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE, at like a 10 sub-point sub-goal, or like 10 above resting, I guess. Just because that's... I think that is probably the safe way to do it to try and prevent further backup. But last time in Crossbell, what we did was we beat the boss that was... Well, the boss was a group of the terrorist soldiers, and then it was this armored car. Okay. Interesting. It's not... Okay. It's very much not expecting them to allow this. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so does this mean that's like a... We're gonna get to come back here? Kinda deal? And that's why? Alright, I'm able to come all the way back out to here. No time to go back. We need to press forward. I'm surprised you didn't tell me to do that earlier. I mean, I guess I'll rest. In case they throw another fight at me, which I guess is possible? I mean, okay. Was not expecting that. But yeah, let's go. Okay. But yeah, last time we did that, and now there's gunshots and stuff going on in a that-away direction, so I saved right after the boss fight, so as to prevent myself from getting, sidetracked by an hour of cutscene or something. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. Right at, like, 10 o'clock. Huh? No. Damn it! Fierce beasts. Oh, God. A lot of them are dead. That's a lot of blood. Terrorist leader. Okay, I'm surprised. I didn't think that this is how he was gonna go out. The Red Constellation. Why would you? It's business. Contractual obligation. We've already sent your associates who destroyed the anti-aircraft radars up to Adios 2. Feel free to join them in her arms. How regrettable. Surely. Kill the one still cowering in the back there. Oh, can I? Eep. What's the matter? Don't worry, I'll give you a fair chance. Just you and me, one-on-one. That's terrifying. Gasp. You lose. Thanks for playing. Stop! Stop! Hey, no fun. I was getting to the best part. Young master. Took you long enough. Uncle. Shirley. What the hell are all of you doing here? We were too late. They're already gone. Every last one of them. What have you done?
たちはなんでこんな非道なことを
How could you just slaughter them like this?
言っただろう、ビジネスだと。
Weren't you listening? It's business.
帝国最小および皇族を狙った不届きなテロリストを処刑する。
We killed the terrorists that were here to assassinate the Imperial Chancellor and the Empire's eldest prince.
それが今回帝国政府から俺たちが受けた依頼ってわけだ。
Because that is what the Imperial government hired us to do. You can't be serious.
帝国政府からの委任状もちゃんとあるよ。
Serious has a heart attack. Want to see our contract with the Imperial government? It's got a stamp on it and everything.
これがあればシャーリーたちに手出しはできないんだよね。
You know what that means, don't ya? We're off limits to you. No touchy.
そんな
It can't be.
自治州法第19条3項
Crossbell State Law, Article 19, Paragraph 3.
帝国共和国政府によるクロスベルでの公的執行権を
At all
認め
times,
るものとする。
the Crossbell State government shall recognize and defer to the executive authority of the Erebonian and Calvardian administrations.
その通り。
Damn. Okay. That sucks. That's right.
つまりこの件に関しては俺たちは帝国政府の代理。
In other words, we were acting as proxies for the Imperial authorities.
正式な処刑人ってわけだ。
Official executioners. With diplomatic immunity, I might add.
用意周到じゃないか。
You plotted this from the very beginning.
おじきなんで殺したなんで殺しやがったんだ
Why did you have to kill them? What reason can there possibly be?
あんたなら殺さずに無力化できただろうが
They were no threat to you. You could have just as easily disarmed them, couldn't you?
どうして
So why did you? Pathetic.
ランディ
No, Randy.
先輩
Randy.
ランディさん
Are you okay, Randy?
言っただろう、処刑を請け負ったと。
What part of the word execution do you have trouble understanding?
それにこの程度の殲滅戦、貴様には珍しくもあるまい。
You, of all people, should be no stranger to the carnage of this caliber.
そもそも貴様らがとっとと連中を捕まえておけばこの結末にはならなかったはずだ。
If you want to blame someone, look in the mirror. Perhaps things would have ended differently had you done your jobs and caught them first.
この結果が鉄血に政治的に利用されることもな。
I doubt the Blood and Iron Chancellor minds your failure, though. He might just send a fruit basket for all the political leverage you've handed him.
そんなまさか
No. How could we let this happen?
せめてもの情けに一匹だけは見逃してやろう。
As a show of good faith, we'll let this last little rodent go.
シャーリー、話してやれ。
Surely. Release him.
もったいないな。
Aw, man.
まあいっか。雑魚だと遊びがいがないし。
Well, whatever. It's no fun when they give up this easily.
はいパス。逃げられないでよね。
Catch. Don't let him slip out of your fingers again, Kay. Damn. I think this is the we've seen blood before in trails, right? Like, because I know there was blood, I think, or there was dripping blood, I think, from Gilbert in first chapter of Sky first chapter when those Jaegers were like in the lighthouse and he got like stabbed or something. Or maybe it wasn't Goer, but it was someone. Someone was bleeding. But that was like I think the most blood other but then there's this where it's like of course it's like not too graphic. It's just blood in like a very 2D way, but still like compared to other games, this is pretty like this is out there.
さて、引き上げるぞ。
We're done here. Let's pull out.
報酬も入ることだし、今夜はパーッと行くか。
Time to go cash in our checks. Tonight we feast.
や
Yeah.
それじゃまたね
Later, guys.
失礼します。
Excuse us, young master.
じゃあな、ランドルフ隊長。
See you around, Commander Randolph. You gotta be shitting me.
何のために俺は
All I wanted was to get away from all this. I feel like the scream is better than goddamn it. Geofront C sector.
ヘイユエども。
Damn Hayway pests!
バカなどうしてこいつらが
Why the hell are they helping them?
サオ社長その者たちには重大な権威がある
So Lee, those are wanted men.
共和国政府の委任状があっても連れて行く権利などないはずだ
I don't care what authorization the Republican government has granted you. You have no right to take them into custody.
そう言われましても長老方上からの赦命でした
Authorization or no, I can't simply ignore what Hayway's elders command of me.
納得できないようであれば実力行使をされても結構ですよ
If that isn't a good enough answer for you, we take no issue with applying a healthy bit of force.
そこの風の牽制殿ならば我らの友人とも良い勝負でしょうし
I'm interested to see who would win in a match between the Divine Blade of Wind and my associate over here.
伝説の教主イン。顔を合わすのはこれが初めてか。
This would be a pretty good fight. Eastern Quarter's legendary Zhang Chu. This meeting has been a long time coming, Yin.
それ以外もかなりの手だれ。さすがに少々分が悪そうだ。
I understand you excel in direct combat, too. I would say we're at a disadvantage.
心配せずとももう一方のテロリストほどひどい目には合わないはずです
Rest assured, our terrorist friends here are in good hands.
せいぜい政治犯として民族主義者たちへの牽制に利用されるだけでしょう
They'll simply be utilized as examples to deter any other radical Calvardian nationalists. An honor for any political dissident.
ふざけるな。
Don't screw with us!
貴様ら東方人のせいで我らのカルバードは。
Because of you Easterners, our glorious republic is... Yeah.
ロックスミス大統領思っていた以上のタヌキのようだな
President Rocksmith. That sly dog is even craftier than I had thought.
個人的には親近感を感じる方ですがね
Isn't he, though? I find him to be something of a kindred spirit in that sense.
文句や抗議が終わりでしたら
Okay.
どうぞ大統領府の方へ
Bunch of people playing 5D chess right now. It's crazy. I insist that you direct any and all objections you may have to his administration.
それでは引き上げましょう
Men, let us take our leave.
Ha!
Sir. Jumping away. The same day, 6 p.m. Things have started moving. They're holding her back. I need to get in there and interview. Need to do my job. 2 people have to hold her back and she's still moving them.
そうかわかった
I see. Understood.
こちらはもう安全だ安心してくれたまえ
Everyone here is safe and sound. There's no need to worry. Huh.
テロリストたちの方は
What's the status of the terrorists?
共和国の一団はヘイユエという貿易会社の社員に囚われたそうです
The Calvardian terrorists were apprehended by several employees of Hayway Trading Ltd.
なんでも共和国政府の逮捕委任状を持っているとのことでした
It would appear the Republican government granted them the authorization to do so. Pardon?
おおそれは頂上
Oh, splendid, splendid!
彼らは我々の友人でしてな身分は保証しますからご安心を
They're friends of ours. Rest assured that we can vouch for their character.
そして帝国からの一団だ
As for the Erebonian terrorists,
帝国政府による委任状のもとに
I was told that the Red Constellation executed them on orders from the Imperial government. You can't be serious.
最初一体どういうつもりか
Chancellor Osborne, what is the meaning of this?
帝国政府が処刑などの名目で国外で両兵団を運用しただと
Am I to understand the Imperial government hired Jaegers on foreign soil for the purpose of carrying out a mass execution?
ええ確実を期すため
You have the right of it, down to the very last word.
私はともかく王子殿下を狙った罪は万死に値すると言わざるを得ません
Surely you know that there is no punishment more fitting than a swift death for daring to take aim at your life, Your Highness.
背後にいる愚か者たちへの良い警告にもなってくれ
This will serve as a suitable deterrent for the fools hiding in the background.
よく言うぜ
He's one to talk.
確かに自治州法では認めざるを得ませんが
As troubling as this is, their actions still fall within the bounds of state law.
だがこれはあま
As
り
may
に
be, but even so,
あまりに真偽にもとるやり方ではあり
even
ません
so,
か
this is far too great a breach of trust.
それは誤解です
Oh, you misunderstand, Speaker.
それよりも方々図らずとも証明されましたな
But more importantly, wouldn't you call today's incident a prime example of what the Chancellor and I were saying?
この程度のアクシデントですらクロスベル自治州政府には自力で解決できないということ
Surely you see now that the Crossbill state government is incapable of managing a crisis such as this by itself. Okay. So Rocksmith, so the main reason as to why Rocksmith and Osborne didn't tell anyone that they knew terrorists were targeting them was because they wanted this talking point to essentially fall out this way, right? Where it's like, hey, XYZ, oh, here's a perfect current example of what we say. The two men had no worry for their lives. They knew they were getting out of it fine. They had contingency plans. So they didn't care. Ugh.
まんまとテロリストを会議の場に近づけた挙句
Not only did the terrorists successfully infiltrate the venue of the trade conference,
無様に取り逃がし結局は我々の配慮によって逃亡を阻止できたわ
you and yours failed to stop them. If not for our preemptive safeguards, they would have evaded capture.
確かに先ほどの議案の良い事例と言えるであろうな
You could consider this proof that the measure we put forward would work in practice.
失礼ながら実際に命を狙われた皆様方にとって
That's right. Forgive my brashness, but consider how close to the brink of death our lives are placed today.
先ほどの中流案もはや真剣に検討せざるを得ないのではありませんかな
What better time than now to seriously consider our proposal to station troops in Crossbell?
あなた方は
I don't believe you two.
なんと強引な
This is borderline coercion.
まさかそのため
Then
に
this was all intentional.
ここまで悪辣な仕掛けを用意しているとはね
Now I see your aims. A plan this low is despicable even for you.
皆さん議論が脱線しているようです
If I could have your attention, everyone, we still have not concluded discussing the final matter on the agenda.
最小閣下と大統領閣下のご意見も拝聴に値しますが
I do believe the Chancellor and President's proposal is worth consideration. However,
その前に襲撃によって邪魔された私の発言を再開させていただきたい
I would first like to finish the statement I was going to make before we were interrupted by the attack.
ディーター君
Dieter? Oh,
してどのような定義
what did you wish to bring to the table?
をいえ定義ではなく決意表明と言うべきでしょうか
Actually, this is not so much a motion to be discussed as it is a declaration of intent.
迷いもあったのですがこの事件で決意は固まりました
I'd been somewhat hesitant about this idea. But the events that transpired earlier were just the push my resolve needed.
今この場をお借りして一つの提唱をさせていただきます
So please, allow me to take this opportunity to advocate for one final proposal.
何
What?
我々はもはや他国の思惑に振り回されるわけにはいきません
We can no longer be swayed by the whims and desires of foreign powers.
周辺地域のいや大陸全土の恒久的な平和と発展のためにも
For the sake of lasting peace in the region. No. Throughout the entire continent.
私はここに市民及び大陸諸国に対しクロスベルの国家独立を提唱します
I hereby propose to the citizenry and to all nations of Zemuria that Crossbell be recognized as an independent state. Yo! Declaration of Independence afterwards. Confronting reality. Somewhere else in the Geofront? Sector Junction. Okay. So, where all the sectors converge, I guess. My. Oh, okay.
これはこれは
Look who it is.
奇遇だね。
Fancy meeting you guys here.
赤い星座の
The Red Constellation.
戦記とその娘か。
The Scarlet Ogre and his daughter.
シグムント様こちらの用意はいつでも
We're at the ready, Lord Sigmund, sir.
構えるな
Relax, men.
お互いクライアントのオーダーをクリアした後だ
Neither one of us is in a position to do anything until we've taken care of our clients' terms.
これ以上のお楽しみはさすがに無粋というものだ
It would be unprofessional to jump the gun for a little fun, wouldn't it?
同感です
Not my words, but I agree.
そういえばノイエブラン新装開店どうもおめでとうございます
This reminds me, I'd like to congratulate you on the successful reopening of Noir Blanc.
なかなか挨拶に伺えずに失礼しました
My apologies for not having welcomed you to the neighborhood already.
なんのこちらこそ
Think nothing of it.
知らぬ中でもないのに挨拶にも出向かずに悪かった
You'll have to excuse me for not knocking on your door when we arrived, old friend.
そういえば死に損ないどもは元気か
Speaking of reminders, how are your colleagues back in the Eastern Quarter? The ones that managed to survive, that is.
嫌になるくらい元気な方々ばかりですよ
Quite alright, thank you very much. Sorry to disappoint you.
まああなた方のおかげで未だに夢見が悪いご老人もいらっしゃるよ
Though,
う
if
で
it
す
makes you feel any better, I hear the elders still have nightmares, courtesy of all of you.
長老会を襲って人質に取ったりしたからね。
They sure better. We busted right into their little council and took them hostage.
依頼で不在で正解だったようだな
You'd have not fared so well had I not been absent on another mission.
あ、ひょっとしてイン？
Wait, are you Yin?
東方人外最強っていう伝説の教主って。
That legendary Xiong something? The strongest warrior of the Eastern Quarter?
そういうお前はブラッディ・シャーリーか
And you must be bloody, surely.
わずか16で最強の両兵団の大隊長を務めているという
You're one of the strongest battalion commanders of any Jaeger Corps in the continent, despite being only 16 years old.
一人の方が動きやすいんだけどね。
I guess so. Honestly, I'd way rather do all my hunting solo.
それよりもね、
But enough about me. What's with the getup?
かっこいい覆面をしてるけど、つけない方が強いんじゃないの？
I bet you'd be loads more powerful without that fancy schmancy mask and cape on.
何
I beg your pardon.
筋肉の使い方も不自然だし、
It's taking a lot out of you, right? Keeping it all together?
普通にしてた方が強いはずなのに、もったいないんじゃないかな。
Your muscles would be a heck of a lot stronger if they could move the way they wanna, right?
ほほ
Well.
親バカかもしれんがこいつの見る目は確かでな
Does an old man proud to know his daughter's got a good eye for things?
ま、気に障ったのなら俺からも謝罪させてもらおう
Sorry if she hit a sore spot. Surely knows what she wants when she sees it.
別に
Don't mention it.
さ くだらない挨拶を続けるのなら先に行くぞ。
So, I suggest we move on ahead. Unless you have more catching up you'd like to do.
すみません。
Not at all. Sorry to keep you.
ではまたの機会に。
Until we meet again.
ああ、またの機会に。
Yeah. See you around. Bye bye now. Just you go that way, we go this way. But yeah, okay, so Shirley and Sigmund are able to tell that there's something going on. There's some limiting factors here with Yin. Whether or not is the mask like it's Yin is somehow exerting themselves with all of it on and can't do their full power. Chapter 2, Westermere Trade Conference. That was a chapter, without a doubt. That was a big chapter. Tower of Terror, yeah. Jeez. In the 2 weeks after the Westermere Trade Conference, Crossbow City was consumed by a quiet enthusiasm. Other states, such as Le Mans, Ored, and Northumbria, were recognized by the Holy City of Arteria as retaining sovereignty equal to that of nations. Crossbow, however, had only been granted the autonomy to act as a buffer zone by and between the Empire and the Republic. Additionally, 10% of all state revenue was relinquished to the Empire and the Republic in the form of mandate fees. Crossbow's massive growth as an economic hub, and on the other extreme, its fragile political foundation, allowed for its unique set of circumstances. The state had long been vulnerable to foreign tampering, the rise of criminal organizations, and other complications. As a result, many citizens became sympathetic to Mayor Croyce's proposition of independence as the cure to Crossbow's systemic issues. Numerous others, however, feared potential retaliation from the two major powers, and so debates over the pros and cons of Crossbow and independence grew more feverish by the day. Tender heart. Yeah, because it's like, hey, we're just gonna change the way the government works right now. After a major incident. That's not gonna cause any major discussions to be occurring.
ダメだな。あれから半月近くも経つのに。
It's no use. It's been almost half a month since what happened, yet I still can't. Woof?
ごめん。ため息なんかついて。
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to drag the mood down.
なあ、サイト。
Hey. Zai,
こんな時にリーダーって何をしてやればいいのかな。
you're the head of a pack once. What should a leader do at a time like this?
ランディはもちろん、エリーやノエルも考え事をしているみたいだし。
Randy, Ellie, even Noelle seems to have a lot on her mind.
キーヤにも気を使わせてるみたいなんだよな。
And I know it's been hard on Kia too, seeing us like this.
Oh!
Woof. Believe in yourself.
なんて言ってるんだ。
Come again?
ごめんな。こちらから振っといて。
Sorry, Zite. Maybe I'm just being restless.
こういう時は理屈で考えるな。
At times like this, it's best not to
自分
overthink.
から動いて話してみ
Simply
るがい
speak
い。
your mind and act as your body
だそう
wills.
です。
That was his advice. Hey, Tio, how's it going?
ティオ。
Tio.
いい風ですね。
What a pleasant breeze.
せっかくのバカンスですし、晴れて本当に良かったです。
Yeah, so giving advice from Guy Bannings, where it's just like, hey man, just act. We're lucky the weather is so cooperative today. It isn't often we have a day off.
そうだな。
Yeah, that's true.
マリアベルさんに招待された時は何事かと思ったけど。
Then again, getting invited on this trip out of the blue by Maribel only made me overthink even more.
何かの罠と思ったとか？
Did you think she was laying some kind of trap for you?
未だにちょっと敵視されているみたいですし。
Even now, you seem unable to escape her crosshairs.
実はちょっと思った。
I can't say the thought didn't cross my mind.
ごめんな。ティオも
Sorry, Tia.
帰ってきたばかりなのに、こんな情けないところを見せて。
You've only been back for a couple of weeks, and already you're seeing me at my most pathetic.
無理もないと思います。
No need to apologize.
目の前で あれだけの人が亡くなったんですから。
You witnessed a multitude of deaths with your own very eyes.
普通ならショックだと思います。
The weight of that would have shaken just about anyone.
いや、捜査官になった以上、どこかで覚悟していたことだ。
Maybe. But as a detective, I should have been prepared to encounter this sort of thing. I mean, being prepared and actually seeing it, right? There's always going to be a massive chasm between the two, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm prepared to, I don't know, get shot in the leg. It's not going to change how you react to getting shot in the leg. It's still the act happening that's going to cause the reaction.
ヨアヒムの件もあったから、なんとか慣れたつもりだったけど。
After what we went through with Joaquin, I thought I'd become accustomed to almost anything.
捜査官としても、リーダーとしても、まだまだ覚悟が足りなかったみたいだ。
Looks like I'm far from it, both as a detective and as a leader.
慣れるというのは
Yeah.
覚悟にあまり関係ないのでは？
Being prepared for something and being accustomed to it are two very different things, don't you think?
それを言うなら、私なんて覚悟完了していることになります。
Were that not the case, I would be far more prepared for death myself.
多分ランディさんの次くらいに人の死に慣れていますから。
After all, I am perhaps the one most accustomed to it among us, second only to Randy. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I was almost dead. Multiple times.
そうか。
I guess so.
ですが、私がロイドさんより捜査官に向いているとはとても思えませんし。
However, that doesn't change the fact that you are by far more suited to your role as detective.
リーダーをやれるくらいの覚悟があるとも当然思いません。
I can guarantee I would not have the tenacity to act as a leader either.
みんながロイドさんに求めているのは多分違うと思います。
I believe everyone's expectations of you are different from what you think they are.
ティオ。
Tio.
そうだな。確かにそうかもしれない。
You're right. You're absolutely right.
受けたショックを覚悟の不足と取り違えて動けなくなってたみたいだ。
I mistook my shock over what we witnessed as proof that I didn't have the guts to handle it.
ならどうか動いてください。
Then let it go.
めったにない全員でのバカンス。
What better time than now, while we're on a vacation?
みんなに楽しんでもらえるよう配慮するのはリーダーの役目では？
Wouldn't a proper leader make sure everyone had a good time, himself included?
ああ、そうだな。
You've got me there. Head pats. Exhilarating ride.
サンキュー、ティオ。ちょっとみんなと軽く話してくるよ。
I should probably go check in on the rest of the team.
ええ、それがいいかと。
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
でも、
But,
ああ、悪い
oh,
わ。
my bad. Oh, I liked it.
子供扱いしたわけじゃなくて、感謝のつもりっていうか。
Sorry for treating you like a child. I just wanted to express my gratitude is all.
いえ、気にしてません。
No, you misunderstand.
その、むしろ、
It was more that I...
もう少し。
Well... Huh?
なんでもありません。
Never mind.
早くみんなのところに行ってきてください。
Did you not just say you were going to go check in on the others?
ああ。
Right. On it. Good goddess. Oh, love it. Woof. He said, "What a troublesome leader," or something along those lines. Guess I won't be getting a vote for head of the pack. He is a fool of a man, and he should try to be more considerate. We're also mixed in there somewhere. Are you sure you're not being liberal with that interpretation? I have no idea what you mean. Moving on, we take this opportunity to enjoy the Munchnia break. Getting ready for the auction, there's hardly enough time to enjoy what Michelin has to offer. Yeah, it's my first time visiting for pleasure rather than the business. When you say that has to offer, what you really mean is the theme park, don't you? I will not deny it. Michelin Wonderland, otherwise known as MWL to the already enlightened. Soon, Michi and I will be together at last. By the way, Tio, do you happen to still remember that promise we made? During the cult incident, we agreed that we'd enjoy a day at the theme park together once things settled. How could I ever forget? Our first trip can be with everybody, but afterwards it has to be just us. In a sense, this particular occasion qualifies as completing Phase 1 of our arrangement. Not the way I'd put it, but I guess you're right. Next time it'll be just the two of us. We'll make sure of it. I look forward to that. Nice. Yo, what's up, Waz boy?
やあ、ロイド。
Hey there, Lloyd.
どうやらカツを入れてもらったみたいだね。
Looks like you're back to your usual self.
まあね。
More or less.
ワジの方は結構平気みたいだな。
How about you, Wazzy? Seem to be holding up okay.
いつも通りのクールさっていうか。
As cool and collected as ever, I'd say.
まあ、僕はそれが売りだから。
Well, I do have an image to keep up.
それに今までにも理不尽な死に立ち会った経験がないわけじゃない。
And it's not as if I've never seen senseless death before, once upon a time.
クロスベルに来る前だけど。
That was prior to my coming to Crossbow, though.
そうなのか。
Oh, I see.
ってワジの口から初めて昔のこ
Yeah,
とを聞いたな。
we don't know about his past. Wait, I don't think I've ever heard you talk about your past,
ク
Wazzy.
ロスベルの出身じゃないのはなんとなく聞いてたけど、
I pieced together that you weren't born in Crossbow, but
それは企業秘密かな。
consider it a trade secret.
でもスラムで暮らしてたこともあるよ。
But that's right. I came from rather humble beginnings.
旧市街なんかよりもはるかに救われないようなゴミだめにさ。
The downtown district is practically heaven compared to the dregs I grew up in.
そうか。
Wow, that's saying a lot.
アルカンシェルの首里も辺境のスラム出身らしいけど。
Sully from Arkansas mentioned coming from a similar slumdog background.
ああ、ノーザンブリアの子だね。
Right, she's from Northumbria, isn't she?
あそこはひどいからな。外で傭兵をしている連中の送金でなんとかここをしのいでるくらいだ。
It's not a pretty place to be. Its people barely scrape by, living off the money their Jaegers make taking foreign contracts.
ああ、噂は聞いたけど。
That lines up with what I've heard.
ってまるで言ったことがあるような口ぶり
Wait,
だな。
have you been there before, Wazzy? Sound like it just now.
さてね。
I wonder. Okay, so he
平
might
気
be
そうって言ったけど、少しキレがないっていうか。
maybe cool and collected wasn't the right deduction to make. You weren't half as quippy as usual.
何かあったのか。
Something happened?
僕の方は別に。
Not to me especially.
ただ、バイパーの方ではいろいろとあるみたいだ
I
ね。
think the Saber Vipers are having a rough go of things, though.
バイパーバルドたちのことか。
The Saber Vipers? Something happened to Wald and the others?
まあ、あんな別れ方だったから、さすがにちょっと気になるのさ。
I can't help but be a little concerned since I left them all to their lonesome.
神秘的なカリスマが売りらしい。クールビューティーな僕でもね。
However, will they get get by down there without my mysterious bad boy charms and cool ravishing wiles?
自分で言うなって。
Goddess forbid.
でも、バルドのことは、俺も少し気になってた。
Yeah, like Wald has just kind of been mauling the entire time since Wazzy left, like his gang. So like, yeah, like what is Wald doing? Okay, so Wazzy might be from Northumbria himself. But you do raise a good point. I've been concerned about Wald.
時間が空いている時にでも、ちょっと様子を見に行こうか。
We should swing by Ignis sometime soon to see how he's doing.
そうしてくれると、
Thanks.
こ
I'd
ちらも助
appreciate
か
it.
るかな。
Okay, it's a long time since I've been to Michelin for a little R&R. Well, not counting my duties as a host. I'm looking forward to grabbing a drink at the restaurant there. Care to join me, leader? What I care about is abiding by the law. Off duty or not, I can't let underage drinking slide, you know. Come on now. No need to be so uptight. Let loose a little. This has nothing to do with how uptight I am. Wait. You know what I mean. Well, I train you away as a host in return. Like, wouldn't be the only thing you'd end up swimming in on this trip. Yo! You're not gonna buy me off that easily. Oh, dude, that's great. You could be swimming in Poon, dude. Don't forget about that. Look at the guy sitting in front. He's a real cutie, huh? What do you think? Should we ask him out? All the locals in the city kept going on about the independence thing or whatever. We're not from around here, so we don't really get it, but it sounds like it's kind of a big deal. Okay. You two. Randy. Okay. Where's Kia? Hey, Kia. How's it going today? It's going well today. Did like a half day at work because had my annual physical at my annual physical for just checkup. Everything came back perfect. I'm doing awesome. It was funny because my doc basically in the past like year and then some lost a lot of weight. And my doctor came in. and she said like, yeah, when they handed me like your papers, I actually double checked with them to ask like, is this the right patient, because like you're looking so good right now. And I was like, yeah, that's good. You get back to Sky first chapter, finish the first chapter, and it's getting really good. Yeah, buddy. That like, Sky is good. Sky is good. But yeah, so then after I went and got like a perfect bill of health, I then went to go eat at a Chinese buffet for lunch, which was good. And then after that, went to go get my tires aligned, or at least check to see if I need to get them aligned at local Midas. And luckily that was free because I had like plan already from previous time I went and purchased something. Shootouts Gideon. Yeah, what's up, Sleeper? How's it going? Yeah. Gideon's been gedunned. Yeah, so it's interesting that they never reference him or his like actual name. They just say terrorist leader, so it's a good way to kind of tie him back into Cold Steel. Just a splatter on the wall, basically. Perfect health, the Chinese, but exactly, that was the point. I was like, hey, I just got a perfect bill of health. This is a perfect time to go do this. But yeah, no, weight down, blood pressure's like perfect. Everything's turning up Bison. So I'm pretty happy with myself. Yeah, so everything was good. So I'm happy. And then, you know, always half day of work, always fun. Even though I did get back home around like 3:30, I was like, no, I didn't. And it was just like, I'm not home. I could remote work, but I'm not gonna. Like, I'm still at my appointments. I'm gonna Michelin cruise ship. But how are you two doing, Sleeper Keeve? Hope your days are going well. You must create a special guest, correct? Hope you're arriving at the resort shortly. Until then, I hope you enjoy a peaceful journey along the waves. My husband received a nice fat bonus when Orcus Tower is completed, so we planned a little family vacation. I was set on adding it to our nest egg, but he insists on treating ourselves to some fun with it instead. And I'm glad I listened to him. Just look at how excited little Lima is about this. Look, Daddy, look! It's a fish just jumped out! No one but Mayor Corey will be bold enough to propose Crossbow's independence, much less to the Empire and Republic's faces. Hashtag free Randy. It's just in Nerds on Vacation. How's it going, Fontano? How are you doing, my friend? Watch out, Bison. This chapter's gonna be spicy. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to some spice. But how's it going, my friend? Hope you're doing well. No one else, but question: when you all go to a Chinese buffet, what's like the thing that you always get, right? Like what's one thing that you always make sure that you get on like the first plate that you go up? Because me, it's usually like General Tso's. Okay, that's a good one. Usually, I almost always try to get some like just lo mein, and you can get lo mein everywhere. But I feel like I feel like I almost rate how much I'm gonna like a Chinese place based on their lo mein. It's like, is it good lo mein or not? Why would I go to a Chinese buffet? I care for my body. I mean, hey, my body handles it pretty well. Or their teriyaki, like beef or chicken teriyaki. Like, I always try to get those. I'm very tired, but I learned that I am on the last chapter of Xeno 3. Nice. I'd say crab ring. Okay. Speaking of Xeno 3, did you see? They just shadow dropped it last night. The trailer for the Xenoblade 3, like, last DLC, the, like, additional story content. And it's just coming out next week. Coming out on, like, the 25th. Just, you know, nothing, no big deal. And I'm like, oh, great. I still have plenty of sub-goal games to get through, including Xenoblade 1, 2, and Torna before I get to play that, so that's gonna be a bit. Maybe it'll be long enough for them to release it on its own separate cartridge so I can rent it from the library or something. I lived around the corner from the plaza that seemed to rotate Chinese food places, so I tried a lot of crab rangoons. Bison, how can you do this to me? What do you mean, how can I do this to you? Oh, that's what I'm yeah. It's a lot easier said than done, but I think it's a God damn it! Fontaine, literally at the start of this stream, literally at the start of this stream, I said I'm gonna keep this one at 10 to hopefully keep it out of reach a little bit because I'm already like going hard. Like I'm already 12 games deep. God damn it. But thank you very much for your 10 gifted subs. Okay, well, while I'm thinking of it, I might as well add it. Well, no, you playing Encore? Yeah, I'm gonna play the Switch version. And your response, Sleeper, why are you playing them? One, I haven't played Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 2, I have played casually, never on stream, and I figure I want to play it as well. And I've never played Torna, the Torna DLC. So, not replaying 2 of the Xenoblade games. Xenoblade 2, yes, but I will be doing that one on New Game Plus, so I don't have to, like, gacha for blades to get past environmental things. Sleeper, this is why Bison has a rule of 1 subgoal per stream. Yes. I have a rule of 1 subgoal per stream because I think in one stream you did like 3 or 4. And I'm like... And basically what happened was he took out half of the pre-prepared list of sub-goal games that I had prepared. I think some of those are still in the backlog. Because I'm pretty sure you got like 2 of them and then like the third one was Hollow Knight. It's a lot easier said than done, but I think it's a dream worth chasing. The mayor's on the verge of bringing our state to new heights, that much I'm sure of. Fine print, yeah. So that means, see, okay, I guarantee, so I have to wonder how hard they thought about this. Did they choose Tokyo Mirage Sessions as the title of the game specifically because it reversed as SMT, which is Shin Megami Tensei? Because that game absolutely, like, it has to be, right? It has to be. It's so weird. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, that's such a nothing assortment of words. But like, man, why couldn't they have just had it be SMT? Like they literally were like, yo, SMT cross FE. You could have just had that literally be the title and then have like a subtitle to it. You didn't need to do TMS. On Tokyo, they go into a mirage during an idle session. Sharp FE. Yeah. Boom. Personally, I'm more looking forward to visiting the upscale restaurant boutique at the resort. My boyfriend better be ready to spoil me all day. The vacation across is already a dream come true, but a trip to Michelin Wonderland too? That's the cherry on top. Man, I can't wait. Me and my gal are gonna have the time of our lives. See, now that, like, the thing is, Montana, when you mentioned it when we were talking at Discord the other day, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like, I even told you, I'm gonna make that a goal. I was like, okay, cool. Is this the intermission? Yes, it is. I should probably actually change the stream title over to intermission. Nope. Intermission. There we go. And we were like, I was even. Oh, it do be spicy. Yeah. And we was even talking about, you don't know what to do when the time comes. Okay. So we were talking, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have that be a sub goal. I was expecting it to go longer than a stream, and now I'm like, okay, hey Fontaine, you got any other idea? Anyone else want to drop some ideas for sub goals that I could do? Cause like, man, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel for things. Oh, do I? Oh God. Kurano Kiseki, I'm only like I'm waiting for it to smile. So, if I were better at Japanese, maybe. If I were confident enough to be able to be like, oh yeah, I can read this in Japanese and tell you what it says in English, then I would be for it. But I can't do that. So, I also don't want to use the spreadsheets and stuff and like the fan patches. Like, I want to play the official localizations, which is also why I'm not. Even though I could literally buy the NISA version on Steam that has the Durant patch, or the Durant improvements, I could feel what it feels like to play it, but I'm not going to. It's okay, man. I know you'll buy it again. I mean, if I buy the Steam NISA version, I don't think I'll have to buy it again. Because they're just going to add, like what they're going to do with Nayuta, they're just going to add the English patch when it comes out in English. Right? You can buy the NISA version of Trails of Nayuta right now on Steam. It's not like it's a version of like, oh, you have to buy the Cloud Leopard and then the NISA. It's just like you could buy the NISA of Kuro right now. Even better, there you go, you talked yourself into it. I'm not buying it right now. Maybe it goes on sale. Like, I'll buy it and then not play it until the English patch comes for whenever that is. Because, I mean, like, whatever. But I'm not playing it. Played Xanadu? Yes, I did play Xanadu. I think I played that after Cold Steel. Played that after Cold Steel 2. I think it was also after I played Berseria. I think that was like fourth or fifth game I ever streamed. Gotcha. Remember, just go check out the Bus Girls. Oh, Lloyd. Were you up on the deck? No, I was down below the water. I was skiing behind the boat. Yeah, felt like getting some fresh air. I'm not interrupting, am I? Well, we were just talking about what happened at the trade conference. And about Mayor Croy's proposal. You mean about Crossbow becoming an independent state? So I wonder if, like, right, they declare their intent that they want to be independent, right? What would be the over-under on them just immediately sending out an airship to Artaria and being like, yo, can you do us a solid and, like, do your church shit and say, yo, they a state now? You're declaring independence like Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy. Yeah. Encore, 8 new costumes, an EX story, certain characters enjoying fighting as attack skills, and attack chains can be fast forward. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it is just, I mean, it's the Switch ported version of the Wii U, which I guess similar to other games that were ported that way. It did get improvements like Mario Kart and stuff. Hey, who here plays Mario Kart or Smash Brothers? Because I'd be willing to do a game night, play against some people. I'm pretty alright. I don't think I'm bad at the games. You mean about Crossbow becoming an independent state? Yes. And the terrorist attack. Right. It's a hard topic to ignore, especially when you're on the inside looking out. Yeah, run these hands on Slippy. I suck at card games? Perfect. Oh god. Nah, I don't play. See, okay. So Smash Brothers Melee, because it's Slippy you're talking about, that the fan one. The GameCube, I'm pretty sure GameCube is the only Nintendo mainline console other than the Wii U that I did not have. Like from the well, I don't want to say the only, right? I had N64, then went to PS2, then got a Wii, and then PS3, PS4, skip Wii U, and got Switch. You didn't have a GameCube. I didn't have a GameCube, so Melee is not in me. I don't have Melee. Anytime I hold a Wavebird, like a GameCube controller, I get physically revolted, because I'm like, this isn't symmetrical. Right? Like, look at this. Look at the beauty of a PlayStation controller. It's like, but it was the people's console, 99. I mean, sure. Just, I had my PS2. I was having a grand old time with Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank, bud. Yeah. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, like, if I were to play Smash on stream, it would be Smash Ultimate on my Switch. N64, GameCube, Wii, PS1, 2, Wii U, 3, 4, Switch, PS5. Okay. GameCube was also just 99. It was all, yes, but you're also saying was also just, like, let's think about this. I was born in 96, like near the end of it. right? So like when GameCube came out, it's not like I was an adult with adult money. That would have had to be like, I would have had to either save up with my weekly allowance of $5 or I would have had to get it gifted. But I was gifted a PS2, and it's not like I was getting gifted a console every year. It's like, that's like multiple Christmases. Yeah. It's like my family, like, certainly weren't poor. We were hard middle class. But it's like, my brother and I weren't spoiled to the point where it's like we're getting a console every year. It's like, okay, you'll get a console one year, and then you're working with that. If you want another console, you gotta save up. And I'm pretty sure the Nintendo DS, the OG DS, the one that I've shown on stream multiple times, that still has a battery charge, even though I haven't charged it in like 5 years, was the first console that I ever bought with my own money in full. Still don't understand how my two brothers and I got a Game Boy Color in the same year. Yeah, let's start our gaming. Yeah, me and my brother were also the same. Like, my brother was 4 years older than me, but it was like, we both got Game Boy Colors at the same time. It was, because, like, I can get, like, because I feel like parents almost inherently understood that it's like, especially with siblings, especially with brothers, right? It's like, if we give one of them a Game Boy, the other one is going to always want to play said kid's Game Boy. Let's just get them both Game Boys and just, like, cut those arguments off at the pass. I think it was just my parents that started having enough money to not be... Okay. Like, I think my parents were just like, I don't want my kids to fucking be at each other's throat and argue all the time and annoy the shit out of us. Because it's like, I want to have a turn on the Game Boy! It's like, fuck it, whatever. Here's your Game Boy. And we both got Game Boy Colors, and we both got Game Boy Advances, but I was the only one that went and got a DS, because basically at that point, my brother's gaming like journey kind of stopped at the PS2, because then he was more of like a PC WoW kind of guy. old school RuneScape, WoW, those were his jams. But yeah, Game Boy Color in 2023 money is $150 on launch. Damn. It's not bad. like, I don't think that's necessarily bad, honestly. Alright, it's a hard topic to ignore, especially when you're inside looking out. Yeah, so, let's move forward. I never would have imagined that Uncle Dieter was considering something so brazen. Yeah, so two of them missing even one console now. Yeah, one console now, but, yeah. Bobblehead. I know what you mean. It's not the sort of thing you can just have a passing opinion over. The Guardian Force's future hinges on what might happen next. That's a good point. The Empire and the Republic weren't joking when they said they wanted to scale back the CGF. Undercree of the princely family has been forbidden to develop medical technologies for the purpose of warfare in Remifaria. This enactment has led to geopolitical stability in Principality. This law, alongside the lack of natural resources such as septium and its poor infrastructure for international trade, makes Remifaria an unappealing territory for the expansion of Erevonia. For that reason, the military presence within Remifaria is relatively understated. Okay, so that's the reason why Remifaria is kind of just like let to exist on its own, outside of just being declared a state by Arteria. PS2 in 2023 minus $525. Jesus Christ. That's a lot. Ugh.
代わりに自分たちの軍隊をタングラム門とベルガード門に駐留させようっていう。
They already proposed having their soldiers stationed at Belgard and Tangram to make up for it. $300 in 2000. Well. Yeah. The last few years have been mean on inflation. That they did. Remifaria's military adopted an independently developed form of martial arts, which combines Eastern forms of martial arts with orbital arts. That sounds frickin'. Honestly, that does. Like, because I'm like, what does that look like? Do they got like fucking gauntlets with like orbments in them, so they're like they're firing fucking kamehamehas while just doing fucking karate? 2 Game Boy Colors at 160, not too shabby. Yeah, no, that's not too bad. And when was that information stated? Where was that quote taken from? Like, obviously that was taken from the wiki, but I mean, like, where was it inferred from? What game? That they did. Ah, okay. You know what? That makes sense. Mobile games probably do just have an absurd amount of just random, like, lore bits. From like, oh, this character wearing these clothes. This SS super rare gacha character. You want to see Toa in a kimono? Yes, I do. I'm like, damn it. Of all the gacha games to not get onto like Steam or something, or like get localized, why couldn't Akatsuki be one of them? Because it's like, if I were going to play a gacha game, that would be one. I still wouldn't pay for anything. I would be free to play, but I mean like, be one I would try and play. That explain crossbow for more wealth is concerned that two major powers almost certainly colluding with one another. No biological warfare allowed. Oh sure, no bio-warfare allowed, but we'll allow super mystic warfare using super weapons developed by ancient races if whatever. Mentioned Needhog and one of the MC of Akatsuki was a former member. Oh, interesting. When it comes down to it, they'll each look for an opportunity to annex Crossbell for themselves. Oh, will they, Ellie? Will they try to annex Crossbell? Will they? I can't help but think all of this is just a setup for that exact scenario. Hate to say it, but I agree. Then again, maybe the mayor's proposal was him trying to get ahead of the game. This is the most important part, Bison. Are you ready? Oh god. If Crossbell gains independence, it'd mean more funding for the CGF. We could have armaments that, as of now, are only accessible by the major powers. Culture. Remiferian culture includes meeting and greeting people with coffee and biscuits. They are also known for ballet. I thought ballet was Northumbria, but coffee and biscuits. So, are they meant to be kind of like British? Is that Remiferia? Are they supposed to be like medical Britain? Because they've even stated, right, like the people, it's just like Arabonia was like influenced by European royalty and specifically like Germany in its like, oh, railroads, its stuff. And Calvard was politically inspired by US being like a republican stuff and like a lot of Eastern stuff from like China and Japan appearance from like the immigrants from even further east, right? So like they're obviously taking inspiration from real world places. Never seen a defense force fold so fast when a high school kid rolled up. Yeah, I mean, it's also a high school kid in a Gundam, so I mean, Rocksmith to go! Falcom has officially declared a parallel world rather than representing events that actually happened. Kondo has said that they might at some point introduce canon versions of the characters, or at least the main quartet, into the games. Oh, okay, interesting. So, Akatsuki can't be taken as direct lore, I guess, potentially, but it's probably not so different that it's worth discounting entirely. Rocksmith U. Rocksmith University? Oh, wait. Not just standard combat weapons and armored cars, but also tanks and military airships that could prevent potential foreign invasions. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm a little ashamed of how excited I am about that idea. I want the weapons! Give me the fucking weapons! Keep in mind that we don't know how realistic Uncle Dieter's proposal is yet. Arabonia and Calvert publicly dismissed it in almost no time at all.
好意的に受け取る声明を出してくれて。
On the other hand, some states and countries were more receptive to the idea, like Liberal, Ramaferia, and the holy city of Artaria. You know, the 3 countries that have basically been stated to be good people in the world. At this point where it's like, okay, Liberal, we know the queen, we know the princess, they good people, we chill on them. Ramaferia, we've met the prince, he doesn't seem like an asshole, and we know Lucy, she's pretty cool, good. Holy City of Artaria, how bad could a place that Kevin's from be? They're the church, nothing could go wrong in the church. The church. You can give them all the weapons they want, they still aren't stopping the first year. Yeah, he is still a third, what? Yeah, no. Yeah, because freaking, for whatever reason, Thor's is what, a 2-year high school? Like, it's not, like, it's not even a 3-year school, it's 2. Fucking crazy. That would be even worse, because at least if you gave up, you don't die. Yeah. Well, yeah, some states and countries are more, yeah. Honestly, the entire situation is frustratingly precarious. You can say that again. Honestly, the entire situation is frustratingly precarious. I said it again. What do you think Maribel's stance is? She did invite us here on the heels of it all. I still get the impression that she's far more concerned about the management side of the IBC than she is about politics. She doesn't seem to have involved herself with her father's proposal very much at all. I like how, like, the light shining in through the windows is, like, it's almost, like, wavy enough to look like really thin curtains. It's really cool. In this world, you can get a job at a Sunday school. I mean, yes. Yes, I mean, this world, as it is still in the midst of an orbital revolution, so, like, you don't need, so a lot of it's still, like, oh, apprenticeship, trade-based, right? Like, you got our boy at Morge's Bakery being an apprentice baker, like, and stuff. We got teenage bracers, exactly, right? It's like, you don't need super far education. And in fact, like, and, like, most of the people that are at Thor's, right, like, right, even, like, the commoners, which you don't really see many of them, most of them are, like, pretty well off, right, like, if you're looking at, like, going from class 7, who is a quote-unquote commoner? Elisa is, she's an heiress, she's got money. Gaius is, but he's the son of a chief of, like, an entire tribe, so, like, one could argue he's probably got plenty of cattle and livestock that makes him relatively wealthy. Elliot, but his father is big in the military, so they're definitely not wanting for money. Machias, his dad is, what, mayor of that. Fee is parentless, but she is from a Jaeger Corps that was probably rolling in some fat dough when they kind of disbanded, so she probably got a healthy nest egg. And as far as I understand, she wasn't, like, when they disbanded, Phoebe was pretty quickly brought into Thor's by Sarah, right? Yeah, governor of Heimdall. Emma is the, what, adopted daughter of a town leader. So, like, and they're witches, so they could probably just magic up money if they needed to. Coven of Witches, yeah, but like a secret town. Right, like the leader of the tribe, so she's the next in line to inherit it. To a point. Reen doesn't have a drop of noble blood, but biologically he is related to the head and is the adoptive son of a noble. So he's also not worrying for money. So, like, there's no good example of a commoner put out in Thor's that is not somehow not poor, right? You never see, like, oh yeah, this kid was fucking slumming it up and he's in Thor's because of whatever reason. It's like, they're not just taking in everyone that, like, wants to get more of an education that we see. Alan, is he the son of a trader? like a merchant? Because I thought he was. Or no, Alan. No, Alan is the no. Okay, no, I'm thinking of Glasses Kid. No, Alan is the douchebag Magoo that keeps fighting us throughout the like entirety of Cold Steel 4. That's Hugo. Yeah, yeah. Alan. I mean, like, they're obviously commoners, right? Because like they're the noble classes, like classes like 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 are all the commoners. But it seems like all the commoners are like not poor. Oh, is that right? Alan's just a dude. I was actually hoping to use it as an opportunity to ask her about it directly. Like if you're Omega Poor, you couldn't afford Thor's. Exactly, and that's the thing, right? Where it's like Thor's is still like as an example, like getting a job right out of Sunday school. It's like, yeah, a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford Thor's. Like Thor's isn't like anyone come. It's like Janus, yeah. Although I feel like out of the two schools, Janus, you might be able to like get a scholarship. Like Thor's, I wouldn't expect it. But with Janus, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe there's like a Queen's scholarship or something. Like, oh, hey, you poor but smart? Get in here. I was actually hoping to use an opportunity to ask her about it directly. 2 things, okay. What are the 2 things? I understand where you're coming from. There are a lot of things I'd like to talk over with Belle, too. And I still haven't heard you guys with more options for sub-goal things. Like, I can't do Kuro. Because, one, also, I feel bad about making that a sub-goal. Because I'm going to play that when it comes out localized. Like, that's not a sub-goal. It's like, why Reverie isn't a sub-goal? Because I'm playing it. Alan's family is unclear, except he grew up in the same town as Love Bridget. Okay. 2, there are 3 Allens and Trails. Ah, shit. I mean, arguably, I'd say that makes it more realistic of a world. Alan's probably a common name. Like, how many Kevins are there? I don't know, probably like 2. It's just a dude that had too much curse sauce. Oh, yeah, curse sauce. Yeah, they really use Alan to drive home how much the curse can just F with your head throughout that entire game. Where it's like, oh, hey, we're maybe bringing him to the light. Curse sauce. Nazis. And it's like, okay. Like, he really turns into Dimitri post-time skip in 5 and 3 Houses. Alan Richard, Alan CS, Alan Roland is the guy working at the counter of the airship station. Okay. Come on, you two. I know times are complicated right now, but anything that's all the more reason to enjoy this trip while we can. Fisherman Lloyd. Yeah, hey, Fisherman Lloyd. That's another one. Oh? So this is an opportunity. It's not every day we get to stay at the hotel in Michelin, right? And isn't there a Tio in that first farm that you go to in first chapter? Yeah, so like honestly, having reused names that like come up every so often, right? It makes the world more believable. Because like, yeah, no, not every name's gonna be highly unique. Like if one of the main characters in Stella's friend Tio Pertzel, exactly, the Pertzel farm. They even make a joke about that too. Yeah. Doesn't Estelle say she has like a friend named Tio or something? Or is that in a chest? But it's like when every character is given like a stupidly unique name in a JRPG, it's like, okay, I guess like that's your identity, but like it'd also be perfectly fine to just meet another person with that name, right? Like, and I feel like that's why certain characters, like, it's like they almost really drive home just how normal their name is. Like Noah in Xenoblade 3, it's just like, Noah, what's your name? Noah. Oh, okay, that's not a very like JRPG name. Hey, what's your name? Lands with a Z. Oh, okay. it still laughs at the fact that she knows a Lloyd and a Tio after they get introduced. What is this, Fire Emblem? There's probably another McBurn. So, McBurn probably knows. McBurn probably knows common. Saying this is an opportunity, it's not every day we get to stay at the hotel in Michelin, right?
しかもあのテーマパークで遊びたい放題だって言うし
Not to mention, we'll have a whole theme park to cut loose and have a good time at.
さぞかし頭を空っぽにできるんじゃないかな
I'm not saying that we should forget everything that's happened, but I think there's a good chance for us to clear our heads. And you know what? I just realized, you know how I know Horizon Zero Dawn? Maybe. Can't Okami? Also, potentially. You know how I know when I'm having like a really, like I can tell I'm having a good stream, like I feel like I'm having a good stream? Shovel Knight, that might be a good one. And it's when I can look down at the time, like been live for hour 22, and can be like, wow, I certainly have not played the game for an hour 22. I have talked a lot because I've been entertained by chat. Final Fantasy 14. That was one because I actually thought about that because I stream with Stream Elements as like the OBS like overlay kind of thing, and Stream Elements does like they try and feed sponsorships. Like I previously did a sponsorship with Raid Shadow Legends because I'm a professional streamer. And they recently did one for like Final Fantasy 14, or like they pushed an email for it, and I was like, maybe. But I'm personally not that big. I'm not that much of like an MMO guy. I was talking with Rias, their mod, on Sunday, how oh god no, I'm not playing that game. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. God, like mild platformers, sure, I could do mild platformers. Like those aren't my specialty. Those in like puzzle games, those might be worthy sub goals. Like Shovel Knight, I'm like, okay, you know what? That might be a good one. Did all collectives in it? It's fun. Oh god, power to you, bud. But I'm just like, that's not for me. It only took me like 90 minutes to do the hard way. Only. Not to, yeah. But it's like, yeah, no. There's only a certain level that I can get to. And now I have a fear of triangles, exactly. But how can we? After what happened? We have to because of what happened. After that trade conference, whatever the future holds in store for Crossbow is anyone's guess. The only thing we can say for sure is that our jobs are about to get a whole lot harder in the near future. Yeah, we are. Yeah, it is. That's exactly why we need this. To, you know, make memories. Memories? What do you mean by that? Huh? What are you getting so worked up over? Was that a little too on the cheesy side? Maybe. Not exactly. Is he doing this on purpose, Ellie? No, he isn't. Believe me when I say that it comes to him naturally. I was led along on a beautiful moonlit night on a rooftop. Wait, is intermission before chapter 3? Yes, it is after chapter 2. Lloyd? When you say memories, are you referring to making them with someone in particular? Huh? No, not really. Okay, so you haven't hit the session. Okay. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to take some time off with all of you. Though, I do feel bad the chief couldn't make it. A frustrated romantic, Ellie. You know what to do when the time comes. Right, that's definitely something you would say. Yep.
さっきから外しまくってるか
See, like, I don't know who to claim as, like, being more dense. Lloyd or Reen, because they're both pretty fucking dense. Gotta make some memories of Ellie, Antio, and Noelle, and Wazzy, and Randy, and Cecily, and Risha, and Ilya, and Kia, and definitely yeah. I'm really looking forward to like my casual replay of Cold Steel and like the Cold Steels after I finish this. Because like I do want to like Reen is written to be dense. Yeah. he is. Because I do just want to like refresh myself on a lot of it before Reverie comes out. But yeah, it's like the Lloyd's a soft boy. Like he's man. Like I feel bad for all the females, but also like I can't be like Lloyd, come on, like no, he's good. Every female wants his wiener, but he's not supposed to know, so the player can decide. Shit.
みんな落ち込んでるみたいだから少しでも元気づけようと
I just figured I should say a few words to cheer you up, and well, with how down you seemed, and well, student, teacher, friends, family, it don't matter.
あなたって本当に天然というか不器用というか
If you a female, you want his wiener. Unless you're a side enough character to want one of the other male cast members' wieners. Sans Milliam. Like, Milliam is one of the main cast, that, you know, shoots over to be like, yeah, no, Eustace. Hey, how's it going, Reen? How you doing today? Feel like you haven't dropped by in a while. How you doing, friendo? Only Doobly is the true Giga Chad that knows what she wants, and it ain't Reen. Yo, yeah, she wants the big Lance. And honestly, who doesn't, right? You look at her, you look at the woman that Doobly wants, and you're like, yeah, I want that too. I want her to step on me, and I'm not even into that. Apparently. No, I can't tell if you're doing this on purpose or if you're just that oblivious.
なんだか悩んでいたのがバカらしくなっちゃいましたね
That was so silly, it almost made me forget what I was even moping about. I mean, silly curse seems pretty confirmed even if it's just starting. Yeah, that one is. And that, like, the interesting thing is that one, and once again, side enough character, right? Where it's like, okay, let's go through. Let's go through, right? It's like, okay, base class 7. You get soft boy Elliot. He's going with Mint, right? No, wait. Yeah, he's going with Mint. You get Gaius. He's going with the nurse, voiced by Neptune. Machias going with childhood bully character. Linda. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm kind of at the point where I've gotten more critical of CS. I still like Green Arrow and Chrono. I think I'm kind of more critical. A lot of the other parts of Cold Steel, like the OG class and the villain and all that. Okay. And that's perfectly fine. Because it's important to remember, right? Like, any media that we really like, right? It's never going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect in this world. That is the limitation of humanity. And really enjoying it, puts this weird filter on us, especially during the period where we really enjoy it. That, like, know you. That, like, we almost want to almost deny bad things about it, right? Like, I'll tell you something, right? My favorite movie of all time, I've said this before, Kung Fu Panda. My favorite movie. I can guarantee you up until like 4 or 5 years ago, I probably said it's a perfect movie, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Now, if I watched it again, I would probably be like, okay, maybe there's like, maybe this could be improved, or maybe this could be improved. Right? I can say one off the bat, right? The other Furious 5 members, they don't talk nearly as much as I think they should. Right? I feel like they should have had more lines. Like, Jackie Chan says like 3 lines in the entire movie as Monkey. And I'm like, okay, fine. I feel like they could talk more, right? But being critical of media that you enjoy in its own way is a way to enjoy it further, because it lets you really appreciate what you do like about it, Like more scaling pins of the plot that I felt Reen has very little chemistry with most of the OG Class 7. I'm not a fan of all the Zephyr or the Steel Maiden. I think that Elise is a good character, but the incest taints a lot of her good moments. I would have to, as I said, I'm going to be replaying, not on stream, casually, a lot of Cold Steel. So before I could make a claim onto that, because I'm going based off of many years long memory at this point, the only one that I could probably agree with you is on Elise. I definitely agree, because we've had this conversation here where it's like, okay, step-sibling romance is only weird based on the length of time and age that they started being step-siblings, right? And you have to go in like a retractive negative age direction where it's like, okay, when is it not weird? Okay, if they're both like 18 and their parents get married and they become step-siblings. Okay, let's drop it back. Is it weird at 15? Okay, yeah, they probably still have an idea of, like, their own identities being, like, whatever. Okay, drop it back to 10. Is it weird? Maybe, depending on how, like, mentally mature. But there's still potentially a limit. Then you drop it to, like, 5. 5? That's probably weird. That's when it's weird. And Reen is about 5 to 7, right, when he's adopted. And Elise is younger, so that's the weird part. Especially when a lot of stories make it so they don't realize that they're adopted or step-siblings, and they are raised as though they are just regular siblings. And it's weirder when one of the siblings is the one that holds the romantic feelings and the other holds familial, like, affection, which is also the thing that makes Elise and Reen a little bit, Like, everything's taken because they have to want Reen's, yeah. Don't care about the Elise parts, it's unnoticeable to me. And also, yeah, that's also another thing. Elise, she doesn't have, she's not that big in the story, right? She's a very minor character in the grand scheme of things. So it's not like that big of a detraction from the game as a whole. I felt Rutger and Steel Maiden are the same character. They are praised to hell and back, but barely do much, and have had their lackeys praise them to the ends of the earth. And their motivations are either non-existent, which is fine with Rutger since he's a merc, or stupid, Steel Maiden. I'm a lackey and will praise our Lord and Savior Cassius Bright. I mean, hey man, Cassius Bright deserves his praise. Could sneeze and kill class 7. Nah, I like Elise, but I've seen so many things in my days that it's just another plotline. That's also true. And like, I'm gonna say, outside of the Reen romance, as far as I remember, I like Elise too. Like, she's a good friend to Alphen. She does swords. Like, pretty cool. Like, I don't think there's anything especially to dislike about her character. It's just how the game proceeds with her relationship with Reen, which is, yeah, she wants to like Reen. That's her life. Yeah, it's her life. And like, hey, so on, like, my main issue, quote unquote, issue with it, once again, not a big deal. It's how much they push it one-sidedly. Bro nerfs himself because if he had a sword, he'd be too much of a menace. I mean, is that not what Crow does with his dual guns? It's like, I could use twin blades, but how about 2 guns instead? That's so silly, almost made me forget what I was even moping about. Overall, I think Reen had the most chemistry with Emma, Crow, Toa, Elise, and Alphen. These are the people who took into account that the boy is nutty and tried to do something about it. Yeah, but he still wouldn't be a Maybe if they push Elise like Muse, that'd be a little weird for me. Yeah, that one would be weird. But I like Muse because she's the only one that does the Muse things. Cassius, though. He wouldn't lose an arm fighting McBurn. Yep. You know, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. He would arm wrestle McBurn, and McBurn would lose an arm. Yeah, I just get used to it. You know, I'm mixed on. She's valid to the plot, but she's a teacher's worst nightmare, and that's the best part. Because also, I like to point this out. Reen is only like 2 years older than New Class 7, or like most of New Class 7. Like he has no place being a teacher. Like, we were literally just discussing that Thor's is a 2-year school. Like Reen should have no credentials to teach. Like, he has no place teaching these children. In fact, I'm willing to bet Ash is smarter than him I'm willing to bet Ash and Muse both know more than him. Like, academically. But, like, I like Muse because she's, like, the only one that's just like, yo, I know a dude that I want to ride when I see one. I'm going for it. Like, she's got the eye of the tiger, and I can at least appreciate the difference from the rest of the cast. He annexed 2 major country state things within a year. I think he gets to have whatever job he wants. I mean, he didn't annex it. He just didn't have enough of a dick to not do it. He was like, I like my country too much. I'm gonna be an asshole and do things that I don't agree with. And that's very much oversimplifying and whatever. You say Alyssa plays 60 chess. Yeah, she does. She does play 60 chess. Also, my only defense of Lisa is that while she does a lot of cruel and abusive things to him, Sword Girl and Fee have done the same thing she has and thinks the same thing she does. Main difference is that Lisa will vocalize it, which makes her an easier target. No, because if he doesn't help, a lot of people would die trying to fight back. If he's there, they just fold. Yeah. Because see, Reed is willing to not kill, whereas everyone else in the military is like, I'll mark him. It's like, oh, was I told to kill him? Okay, let's do it. Golden Rakshasa? Yep, let's do it. I got my golden Gundam. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I say. I almost make forget I see him up and about. Like he rolled up to Calvert, cut a thing in half, and was like, "Hey, yo, step off! You don't want this to be you." I mean, it's a pretty good thing because he showed up with a Gundam that they didn't know was a thing, and not only was this Gundam an unknown factor, it was also better than every other Gundam on the battlefield because he could fly. And it worked. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good one. When it came to villains and party dynamics, I heavily prefer Zero. Oh yeah, I mean, like, I don't think anyone's gonna argue that Zero and like the Crossbell arc probably has the best main party dynamics. Like, because of how immediately you get all of them and how regularly they're all interacting with each other. Right? Right, because in, like, Sky, you get a lot of people, but it's, like, piecemeal, where it's like, okay, in this chapter you're getting Agate. Okay. In this chapter you're getting Tita. Okay, but then they leave. And it's like, okay, and then you get this one and this one. Okay, and this one and this one. And this one and this one. Terracast is always gonna be better. What's Guy's even doing there? Just diversity hire? he basically is the foreign exchange student there. That is kind of what he is. He's more there, I would say, to warrant going to Nord Highlands in the game. Like, honestly, I have to think that that's the main thing where it's like, okay, we got this big chunk that we have here, Nord Highlands. Okay, we should probably have someone from there here to interact with and have, I don't know, show it. But yeah, easily, like, Sky has good party dynamics, but it's piecemeal, so you don't get it as easily. Crossbell has great party dynamics, and you get it a lot immediately, and it's fantastic. Trails has fine party dynamics, but it's not explored nearly as much, and the party is so big initially that they actually have to like with the field, with the go out and do your thing across the country. It's like they have to truncate the total class to let you focus on a few people because there's too many. So you don't get to see a lot of people interact, right? Like, I don't remember Elliot ever having a conversation with, like, Fee. Just one-on-one. Because I don't think they do. So I don't know what Elliot thinks of Fee, or vice versa, other than, oh, she probably likes sleeping in his ex-Jaeger. Oh, he likes playing the violin. Like, I think that's about it. But, like, if you ask me, oh, what do I think Noel thinks of Randy? I could probably tell you at least a few sentences. For example, Red Constellation, amazing antagonists. They're heavily numbered, and what makes them a threat isn't a bunch of people boasting about how great they are. They're just really into their job. Ironically, they have better people skills than Zephyr, too. You can't find an airship without. Exactly. You know what? Yeah, we wouldn't have another airship without our boy. That's what I'm saying. I'm also not much of the wind chill. Mainly, they just had it too easy, and then he's supposed to be a Dominion. Dude, what are you talking about? The wind is like the... Yeah, the wind. His mom needs to strangle him first, then we can talk about Dominion. Hey man, we all have our own troubles, right? Just think about it this way. It's the Timmy Turner effect. Timmy Turner was somehow the saddest child on Earth at some point. It's because his babysitter was mean and he got fairy godparents because of it. But like, there are probably homeless kids in Timmy Turner land that should be far sadder. So like, hey man, some people are just gonna get some gimmies. Okay, Wazzy, for example, had shitty lives that just had to mom used Avatar ties that when powerful. Okay. But yeah, so it's just like so some people are just gonna get gimmies. Now I would be curious to see, right? Because we've seen people with dominions, or we've seen dominions do stuff. And we've seen like people with like the stigma. I want to see someone who has the stigma that was like part of it, but then turns evil. Right? They have the boost and then take it away. Like they're like, I'm not in the church anymore, but I'm still keeping it. Well, because he's statistic and his parents are willfully neglectful, like using his college fund on motorbikes. And the next verse, guess not. I mean, sure. But also, like, Vicky's not always there. And like Timmy seems to like genuinely like his parents, even if they're dumb. Like they're there. Most of, like, they're there sometimes. Like, they're not always gone. Right? Like in Fairy Idol, it's like, oh yeah, let's go down to Chester. His life's shitty. Right? Like, his dad is like a defamed baseball player, lives in a trailer park, seemingly doesn't have a mom. And he knows how to play the banjo. Dinkelberg, double income, no kids lifestyle. Like Timmy's life is genuinely shitty. It's not just around his family. It's just that Cosmo wanted to soften the blood. Like I don't even think his life is that shitty though. Like it's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. Like surely it's not like the best, but like. One could argue, right, Vicky's sister should be the one with Fairly Odd Parents. Because she has, I think, just as neglectful parents, and she is her sister. Is a serious request? It did get that bad. I mean, okay, fine. As it progressed, but the initial starting point of the premise was not that bad and did not warrant it. I will die on this hill. No, I won't. I don't have many hills I will die. Because, once again, it's a fucking Nickelodeon show. Who the hell cares? They need to have a premise to have the show exist. Whatever. Why is SpongeBob a sponge, but he's a dish sponge instead of actual sponge? Excuse me. Why does he have a brain inside his head? And also, if his brain is able to flop around in his head, like the episode where Plankton goes inside and attaches the control box, it's able to roll around, how come his eyes are not rolling around as well? Why are there not optical nerves connected to said brain? That does not make biological sense, SpongeBob SquarePants. Excuse me. I like Norman Crocker more than most. Yeah, yeah. I like Crocker's neck ear that they even like highlight. Crocker real bad for him. Timmy basically ruined his life. Norm isn't something to be fucking yeah. All right, time to get off. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's. Once again, it's a good stream when I'm mostly just talking. Well, I see some plot. Yeah, me too. No need to power load. Thank you, Sleeper, for getting me back on this. If you know it, yeah, I get you. No need to power load. I should be the one apologizing. We shouldn't have read so much into it. Yeah, and besides, I agree with what you said, Lloyd. We're on vacation. It's our duty to enjoy it. If Dan knows what I mean. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Mission accomplished, I guess. So nice to finally have a vacation. It'd be a shame to not enjoy it while we can. Belle mentioned going out of her way to prepare some surprises for us, too. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to them. Surprises? From Maribel? That makes me kind of nervous, honestly. What if she's arranging for the entirety of Michelin staff to welcome us in? I'd jump in the lake and swim back to town. Well, it can definitely be over the top at times, but she wouldn't go that far. Actually, now that I think about it, I wouldn't put anything past her. Let's just pray to Adios that she doesn't do anything too crazy. That's not making me feel any better. Wonder what Belle's plan for us in this getaway. She better not try to pull anything too crazy. I was just thinking, it's really a shame that Chief Sergey couldn't join us. I know he said he'd have fun with them, but I still kind of feel guilty about it. Chief's a busy man, but I know what you mean. The kind of weird thing is I think Falconmus kind of got to this point of trying to appeal to the mainstream to the point they can't afford it in some places, like hiring a bunch of seiyus they can't afford for the sake of star power. Yeah. Maybe. Potentially, yeah. See, that, like, I would like to... Like, that's another thing where it's like, you see... Like, I feel like you hear a lot of voice actors, like, Japanese voice actors a lot, right? Because obviously they're famous, so they get a lot of work. But I feel like I would like to hear games where it's like they go for a lot of like newer voice actors, not necessarily because they would be cheaper, but because they would be able to get, like, if you're going to have, like, let's say a budget for, like, okay, we have X amount for budget, and that budget will determine how much of the game gets voiced. I would like that budget to be like, okay, we're gonna have the entire game be voiced. So even if you have to get newer ones, hey, give them experience, give them a time to shine. The thing is, the funds could go big put another. But yeah, like, it is interesting. and then you get games like East, where it's like, okay, main character at all, he doesn't talk very much. Perfect. As long as the invite does greatly, like, everyone on the cast is like minimal in that history. That is good. Because, like, yeah, most of the voice, like, especially the English cast for Xenoblade 3, like, I had no idea who any of the people were. I only heard, like, after the game came out that Mio's voice actress was Ronnie in Elden Ring, and I was like, damn, she had a really good 2022. Like, Crow's got very little voice acting because they hired Daisuke Ono, Jotaro Kujo as fan. Ah, okay. Okay. I don't know Van's character, so I don't know how well the voice fits. I'd be curious to see who they have for, in English. Yeah, I remember that being, like, a cool thing for Cold Steel 1 and 2, where it's like the English version actually has more lines voice acted than the Japanese version because... like, they decide to have more voice lines. Probably because they could have it go farther. But, yeah. Chief's a busy man, but I know what you mean. Maybe he wanted to save himself the embarrassment of giving us a window in his personal life. I'm even more bummed he isn't here. Shame Chief couldn't go anything. Probably enjoying some private time. Yeah. You gonna go hang out with his divorced wife? Hey, Randy. How you doing, bud?
Yo, Roido.
Sup, Lloyd?
It was
nice of Maribel to invite us out like this, huh? I did it when I was ported to PC because the West has large PC gaming house and dub actors aren't very expensive, way to say it. I just stay at a 5-star hotel and whoop it up at the theme park. It's gonna be one hell of a blowout. Yeah. How you doing, bud? The famous haha. Do I agree now and Crow says that? Okay. Hey Lloyd. Just want to clear something up between you and me. Huh? Those terrorists that got slaughtered. You're thinking the shock of my family doing something so heinous has got me down in the mouth, right? Well. No, not quite. I think there's something else so eating away at you, Randy. Yeah, because I mean, like, he's seen death all the time, and he knows what his family would do. Right? Like, that's no surprise to him. This doesn't have anything to do with your uncle and the others, does it? For example, Rina Shigaraki from MHA, Roxas from Kingdom Hearts, Roxas Breakout. Ah, Emma is your Forge. Ah, and Shinobu Kocho, yep. And Crow is Cloud Strife. Oh, okay. Cloud Strife. Doesn't have anything to do with your uncle and the others, does it?
そっか
Damn. Not that obvious?
間違えたんだ
Staring at the back. I love it. As VA was in UR4 when CS first came out. Yeah, that is true. But in terms of referencing currently known roles for what they are now, yeah. But I didn't know that. I once had a friend.
俺より一つ下で子犬みたいな目をしてた
Just a year younger than me. These big old puppy dog eyes.
多分団以外で初めて知り合ったダチと呼べるような存在が
I think he was the first pal I ever made outside of the Corps.
いろいろあってそいつはいなくなって
And then, well, long story short, he was gone. Arya was played by Sephiroth. I think he's basically Cloud. Okay, Sephiroth's good. Yeah, but Instructor Randolph. Instructor Randy.
やっぱりいろいろあって俺は団を抜けてさまよった
After the dust settled, I left the Corps and just kept walking. No aim in sight.
そしてクロスベルにたどり着いて警備隊に入ってお前たちと知り合って
Eventually, I drifted in Crossbow, enlisted in the Guardian Force, and met all of you.
だが俺は骨の髄まで折れてしかなか
Refuse
った
those Tales of the Abyss. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that one is good. Never played it myself. Fontano's probably played it. Even after all that, still never managed to run away from it all. From myself. How so?
おじきの言う通りテロリストどもが殺された顛末は俺には珍しいもんじゃなかった
You heard what Uncle Sigmund said. Sam, all those terrorists, bloody and mutilated. It's nothing new to me.
確かにあの程度の殲滅戦戦場じゃ日常茶飯事だったからな
On the battlefield, massacre like that's just another Tuesday.
俺があの時切れたのは義憤に駆られてのことじゃね
The reason I snapped back there wasn't out of some righteous sense of indignation.
えテロリストどもを憐れんだからでもおじきに怒りを覚えたからでもね
I wasn't angry at my uncle. Hell, I didn't even feel pity for those dead terrorists.
俺は2年経っても全く変わらない自分に
It's just, I haven't changed a goddamn bit. Not even after 2 years.
骨の髄まで良兵でしかない自分に心底呆れちまっただけなんだ
I was disgusted at myself. In the end, I'm a Jaeger right down to my core. Great protagonist, great heron, great villains. The white mage can be turned into a magic nuke with the right gear. Also, Japanese main bonus played by Osborne. You also play Kie, Kodomine, and Faye. Ah.
それで八つ当たりみたいに掴みかかって殴り飛ばされた
So I lost. Grabbed him by the collar, and then got my ass handed to me.
そっか
Yeah.
確かにそれはかっこ悪いかもな
Honestly, it was pretty pathetic.
だろ
I know, right?
うまったくクールな伊達男の俺様がなんつう無様な
Badass like me getting kicked to the curb. In front of the gals, too. Am I ever gonna live that one?
でもさちょっと嬉しいかな
I recommend playing that with the Japanese voice, though solely because of the fact that it's more voiced. Okay. Yeah, I feel like most of the Tales games would probably have that. Doesn't matter. Actually, I'm kind of happy to hear this.
Huh?
Say what?
なんていうかランディっていつも大人で余裕があるからこちらが頼ってばかりじゃないか
The thing is, Randy, you're more put together than you give yourself credit for. I lean on you a lot. For everything.
でもそうやって自分をさらけ出してくれると仲間としては少し嬉しいんだ
But this time, I got to lend you a shoulder instead. Glad you trusted me with this, even if all you needed was near.
多分俺だけじゃなくて他のみんなも同じだと思う
It's not just me, you know. I'm sure the others would feel just the same. My biggest hot take is I'm not a huge fan of Vesperia or Yuri. Okay. See, I don't think I don't feel the same. I don't think any of the Tales games have really hit me to be like, oh yeah, this is amazing, I'm fantastic. Each of the three that I've played, Berseria, Symphonia, and Vesperia, they've each done different things that I'm like, okay, I like that a lot, right? And I like Vesperia and Yuri specifically because I like that he's just not afraid to murk a bitch. like I think that's my probably favorite part. Like he is just like, okay, it's vigilante justice time. And like he doesn't regret it. He doesn't shy away from it. He owns up to it. He's like, yes, I did this. I will do it again. It is what I believe is right, and you will not stop me from doing it. I have a very little taste for VA. I really don't care. Okay. Tale games are cool, but they also just make sure Yuri was he really goes through any consequences for his actions. I mean, he kills people. He kills two nobles in classless society, and the plot doesn't care. Yeah. Yeah, he kills two nobles in as society, but like also he's not regularly in places that, like, if I'm thinking about it, who knows that he did it? And would they report him? Like, one of the people that saw him kill one of the people was his best friend, and the other, no one saw him do it. Well, knew what Crow did, but it's cool. Yeah, right. Because he saved the world and the Emperor personally absolves him? Yeah. And the two people who he killed were really bad. So, like, who really cares at the end of the day?
それに、骨の髄まで傭兵だなんて、ただの思い込みじゃないのか?
Here, everyone says it's okay, so you gotta give him a pass. Yeah, I gotta give him a pass. Aside, is that really how you think of yourself? You're just some bloodthirsty Jaeger deep down?
少なくとも俺は、ランディがミラのために戦争を請け負うのが好きなタイプには思えない。
Not in my eyes. You're a lot of things to me. But a heartless mercenary who cashes in on carnage for kicks isn't one of them. Meanwhile, Luke was duped in committing genocide. He ends up with complete PTSD and has a 180 character. Beth was also pretty much justified in killing the Order in Berseria, but is remembered as a villain in her world's history. But yeah, I really like Berseria because of just like, how much the cast, like a lot of JRPGs get like a cast of like, oh, this is kind of like a found family. Berseria does not feel like that whatsoever. Like I took it from beginning to end of like, yeah, these are just like it's an accumulation of general assholes for the most part that are all trying to do their own separate things. One of them's murder, revenge plot, love it. But they're all just kind of together because it's just the smartest way. They're all kind of going in the same direction. The only issue with Berseria, Rokuro, and Aizen.
お調子者で夜遊びが好きで少し好戦的で熱くなりがちだけどちゃんと引き際もわきまえてる
I did not care for Crow's revenge plot. I still stand by every single person that we meet in the Liberation Front and their backstories as to why they joined the Liberation Front, why they're doing it, are some of the stupidest reasons. like literally so many of them are just like, why? Like, S is literally, a railroad was built through my town. Aww. How dare they build a railroad through my town? like the other's like, yeah, a Jaeger took on a contract and we just got fucking ripped to shreds. Most other Jaegers we meet in this thing, like Jaegers are generally described as like, yeah, enemies one day, friends the next, because it's just the contract. Like, whatever. But this one's like, we got killed. I don't like this guy that killed us. Jaegers and Vulcans are definitely the dumb. I was attacked in self-defense. I mean, like, I will say Vulcans, it's a little bit like, he was set up to then have Osborne attacked in self-defense. Like, if anything, he should really be going after... he should really be going after Rufus. But I mean, like, still, like, pretty dumb. You don't care about your town, but I mean, like, still, though, right? Like, out of everyone, Crow's probably the most justifiable because he was like, sure, I guess. Like, more of a child at the point when the things happened. But, like, even then, still. Bravest nightlife dweller with a hair-triggered temper. Hot-headed as you may be, you stay calm you stay cool when it matters most.
そしていつも年下の俺たちをフォローしてくれる兄貴分。
You're like a big brother to all of us in the SSS. The guy we can look up to and rely on in times of need. Osborne made town a prosperous economic zone. Fuck that guy.
それが俺の知っているランディ・オルランドって男だ。
Like, his being like, made prosperous, sure, but like the annexation, I could believe that, right? Where it's like, I was really proud of my country, right? Sure. Reasonable. I get, that would be one that I'm fine with. To like, at least some degree. But then I'm also like, but yo, you did have Hot Witch Lady just like helping you get, like, Ordine, right? Like, you're hanging out with Hot Witch Lady. Come on, man. Do you really care that much? You could hang out with her some more. It'd be pretty cool. Be pretty cool. Most people wouldn't say no. I think it's where they ruins his granddad's reputation to do it. At least his granddad is just giving up on. Yeah, I know. Like, as I said, Crow definitely has the best driving force as to why he did it. But the other members, nothing. All my homies love Crow. I mean, like, Crow's pretty cool. But once again, I do want to casually replay. And that's the Randy Orlando I know. I casually want to replay so I can really cement down my feelings and thoughts and memories on these characters. I just want to clap Vulcan's core. Yeah, he did. He did.
だから少しくらい格好悪いところを見せたからって気にする必要はないさ。
One day without being a badass won't make us think any less of you. That I can guarantee. Although that was Rufus's fault. Yes. Not that he knew that, though. Yeah. Once again, it was all just like, and like, once again, Vulcan should really be going after Rufus, especially because Rufus then became an Ironblood after that event. like it's, oh man.
むしろその方が俺やエリーたちだって。
If anything, me, Ellie, and the others might actually prefer you that way.
わかった。皆まで言うな。
Okay, I got it already. Gideon is a propagandist moron that basically gets pissy that he was fired for not knowing when to or not to talk about politics, especially in Airbunny, which is kind of a dictatorship with Osborne. Yeah, no. It's like, by and large, an authoritarian regime. Because, I mean, like, the Emperor still has full power, but he just is like, yeah, do what you need to, Osborne. Like, but, like... And that's literally the funniest part about Marcus's role in CS3 and 4, where it's like, I'm part of the auditing department, and it's like, oh yeah, you think you can do anything? You're really gonna basically audit the nobles? It doesn't fucking matter. Like, it was fucking what? You're gonna audit Osborne? Hey, you're breaking the law. Fuck you. Oh. You wrote a cool book though. Okay, I got it already.
お前のポテンシャルをまだ甘く見てたみてえだ。
I let my guard down. Even I'm starting to get wrapped up in your little tricks. Those are the same reasons why I don't really hate Elisa's mom, given she basically saved the company from Grandpappy's idiocy. Whoa, man, but Grandpappy's like a nice guy, bro. How much of a smooth-talking Casanova are you?
天然たらし
Casanova?
よくわからないけどそこまで逆ギレされること言ったか
I don't know what you're implying, but did I really offend you that badly?
なあもう
Exhilarating,
映っ
right?
てるのがバカバカしく
Yeah,
なってきた
just
ぜ。
busting your balls for making me feel stupid about getting depressed. Nice guy that gaslights his daughter every chance he gets. I mean, yeah, but his daughter is also, like, not that great of a mom to Elisa, so it's like, you know, just a family of just, you know, generational trauma.
こうなりゃとことんミシュラムを満喫してやる。
Damn. I was just putting on a front earlier, but now I'm really ready. Now I'm ready to take Michelin on for real.
テーマパークで遊び
Believe it.
夜は姉ちゃんをナンパするぞ。
There's only one thing to do. Now strike that. Two things. Party at the theme park all day, and pick up hotties all night.
お前も付き合え。この弟野郎。
And you, my brother from another mother, are gonna join me.
了解っす
Right. Whenever you say. I mean, it's basically just a work mom has to deal with working the regime. She did at least try. I mean, like, she tried in that she gave Sharon, told Sharon to basically parent. Like, hey, take care of my daughter. Which, fair enough, Sharon's probably a pretty good mom. Not gonna lie, if I could have Sharon as my mom, I would take it. Actually, no, you know, I like my mom. If I were in anime land, if I were in Elisa's shoes, I'd be like, you know what, Sharon? You're better than my actual mom. Let's get over my issues and just appreciate you as an existence. Whatever you say. Still not sure how I did it, but I could cheer him up at least. You have people like Schmidt working under you. Would you trust anyone in your company to lead? I mean, like... That's the thing. Where it's like... Yeah. It's like, the thing is, right, they never even... Like, how much do they show how well Schmidt is even controlled while Arena is the head of the company? Because it seems like Schmidt just still actually just does whatever the fuck he wants. I would trust Schmidt with my life as long as I'm confident my science is the coolest. Yeah, right? Like, it's like, so long as Schmidt's interested, I could trust him. It's like, as long as he's interested, you could... It's easy. Like Schmidt is an immortal bastard that will literally do anything and everything people ask as long as you give him the mass. Yeah, and he's interested. So he's easy to control. Immoral. Yeah. Like, honestly, I feel like you could put anyone in position of the company, and so long as they comprehend that sole fact, it's just like, yo, let Schmidt do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, if he's interested, let him do it. It's gonna be something cool, and it'll make us a shit ton of money. Like, it's fine. Like, hell, I'd fucking let Elliot run the company. What's he gonna do? Elliot wouldn't know how to run the company. He plays violin. Like, I'd be more worried about all the other departments. Like, not the one that Schmidt has. Still, I'm not sure I did it, but I could cheer him up at least. The longest boat ride in history. A 2-hour stream and everybody. Oh god. This has been a fun time. Oh, there's Kia. Did I miss her the first time? Kia. There she is. Best girl. Well, best daughter. She's probably been worried sick about us. Hey, Kia. How's it going? Parent I thought was intentionally and successfully portrayed as a crappy parent was Helmut Albert. Yes. 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 Papa Alberea was intentionally and successfully portrayed as just a bad dad. Just a right asshole.
Kia, ここにいたのか?
Hey, Kia. I was wondering where you went. Lloyd. So, how much longer do you think it'll be?
I'm
gonna be a little cuck and raise my brother's son because he's got full noble blood and treat my own son like shit because he's a filthy bastard. Yeah. Not too long now. You're gonna love it there. There's even a theme park so we can play together all we want. All we want. We gotta go theme parking. Yeah. How's it going, Kia? I'm sorry, Kia. We haven't been able to spend much time with you these past few days. Lloyd's parents are pretty bad. They died. Sleeper seal of bad parentage. You died. So, Reen's mom, bad mother. Elliot's mom, bad mother. Like how as a villain though, because he felt like a genuine threat without dangerous US. See, I don't remember that chapter in Cold Steel very much. I'd have to go back. Or Cold Steel 1. Very much. We haven't been able to spend much time with you these past few days. You don't have to be sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, he's basically the most active antagonist in CS2. Yeah, I remember it was on his orders that Caldic was burned down. I remember that. I don't know why exactly, but I could tell everyone's been feeling sad back at home. I really wanted to cheer all of you up, but I don't think I've been doing a very good job. Aw, I'm sorry, Kia. You've been doing fantastic. A lot of bad things that happen are because of Azure, yeah. Doing just fine. A lot of user events are him reacting to a spot's crowd. Man, my dad's an ass. Having you by our side is more than enough, yeah. Where do you think we find the strength to keep soldiering on? From me? I wonder if that's really true. Sorry, I think I got confused just now. But everyone does look a lot happier now than they were before. You really are amazing, Lloyd. Oh, you think so? I don't really think I can take all the credit. Anyway, we'll be spending plenty of time together now, so let's relax and enjoy ourselves. You've been waiting forever to go to the theme park with us, huh? Sure have. I want to ride the Ferris wheel so bad. Oh, and me and Tio have to do that kick Mishi thing together too. Kick Mishi? Is that what the kids are into these days? And isn't Tio getting a little too old for that sort of thing? Thank you, but I'm well aware of what is and isn't appropriate for my age. I am a child. I am only 14, I think. Or like 13. How old is Tio at this point? Tio, I mean, hi, everyone. I'd be mega hyped to kick Mickey Mouse. Yo, just do like a freaking high jump kick. If I miss, I'll hit my knee and take recoil damage. What's up, guys? Woof. Looks like we all happen to come up here at the same time. Don't see that. And just as we're about to make landfall, too. Oh yeah, I guess we are. This is the second longest boat ride after Berserk. Wow! It's beautiful. And the weather's perfect. Today couldn't be better. Now you're talking. Getting pretty hyped. Let's do it. Let's go party. Michelin Resort. So I do like how Lloyd didn't say, no, I'm not going to hang out with Randy at night and go try pick up girls. He was like, okay, fine. So I'm curious to know if there's ever going to be discussion about this, if this is not an event that I have to play through. Because we know how dangerous Lloyd is. Here we are. I take it Maribel's waiting for us somewhere? Belle said she made us at 9:30 sharp, so she should be here any second. There you all are. Wait, I know that voice. What the? Hey, what's up, friend? Good morning, Noe and crew. Welcome to Michelin. And an extra special good morning to you, Kia. Good morning. Hey, it's Fran. What are you doing here? You didn't mention anything about going to Michelin when I saw you yesterday. That's because it would ruin the surprise, Noe. Besides, I'm not the only special guest who came along. We've been waiting for you. I see the gang's all here. Today's really shaping up to be a fun one. No way. It sounds like It sounds like they're just down the dock. This really puts into perspective how large the female side of the cast is and how minuscule the male side is. It's why we really have to hold on to our treasured friendship with Randy and Wassy. Oh, mama! Hey, it's Cecily! And our conceal too. Praise be to Adios for blessing us with this bounty of beauties. Actually, there's only one woman I know who could arrange for something like this. It was you, wasn't it, Belle? Guilty as charged. Oh, what's up? Maribel? What's going on here? After inviting all of you, I thought it'd be more fun if I extended the offer to some of your closest friends as well, and then got them on a ship beforehand. This will also serve as a little time off for our Conceal to recharge before the opening of their revival production next month. Hey there, kiddos. How's it going? It's so good to see you all again. How did I get dragged into this? This is certainly a surprise. Did you get time off from work for this, Cecily? I happened to take a personal day when Ilya called me out of the blue. So when I heard you and the others would be coming, I thought, why not? She looks really good in her casual. Like, I like the sleeveless dress. Or the sleeveless, like, shirt. And then she has the, what, pink dress on? Hope I'm not spoiling your fun today. Not at all. I'm glad you're here, Syscon Lloyd. Ah, hell to the yeah! Somebody pinch me because I must be dreaming. Cecily, Ilya, a whole flock of babes, all in one spot, and most of them want to get with Lloyd. God damn it! Man, oh man, it's like I've died and gone to heaven. Randy, volume down. I can hardly blame the man. Still, this is pretty surprising. Are we all staying at the same hotel? Indeed you are. I've had suites prepared for everyone on the 3rd floor. VIP guests only. Why don't I show you them so you can drop off your luggage? After that, I'm taking you straight to Michelin's hottest new attraction. New attraction? Aside from the theme park, you mean? I was pretty shocked when I heard about it too. You see, Michelin recently opened up a new section to the public. Yeah, the part that was under construction in Zero, over by the right side where we went to go get dressed for the infiltration. And we've got it all to ourselves until noon. That's right. I want to make certain that each and every one of you enjoys it to the very fullest. Huh? Just what sort of place are you all talking about? It's a little slice of paradise that I commissioned specifically for our landlocked little state of Crossbell. Lake Elm's very own white sand getaway. Lakeside Beach. Yeah, that is a weird thing. It would be a white sand freshwater beach. I don't know how many of those actually exist. Because anytime it's like, oh, a white sand beach, it's always salt water. Right? Because it's always on the ocean. somewhere. Yeah, you don't get that very often. Thinking about it. Intermission, a brief respite. Or respite? I think it's respite. Hey, Neko Dave, how's it going, my man? I see you dropping by. Yo, Sully, why'd you take off your hat? Where'd your hat go? Okay, there you go left, okay. Okay, thank you. I am doing quite well. I've been live for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and most of it has been spent talking with chat. Like, I no lie, I think more than an hour of stream time today has just been talking with chat. It's been very active. Because once again, Fontano being an absolute mad lad, giving 10 subs. Freaking crazy. Here's your room. So lavish. I'll say. It's perfect. Did you have them bring in an extra bed just for us? That was the end of chapter 2. It was good. See, I stopped right before the last cutscene, so it was just literally, oh hey, look at Red Constellation, murk some terrorists, get that interaction, and then, hello, I'd like to declare our intent to be a sovereign state. We want independence. And it was pretty cool. And it's like, oh boy, I remember hearing about this in CS2. Or, wait, was it CS1? Or was it both? No, it was, we heard about them declaring it right in CS1, but then we saw like the ramifications of it more in CS2. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Top class services are given at a top class hotel. Though sadly, they couldn't accommodate my request to have a lock placed on this room's doors. From the outside, that is. They couldn't, huh? You trust us that little? You wound me. Lovely though all you ladies may be, that's no reason to cage us in like wild animals. I trust you at the very least, Wazzy. It's Lloyd and Randy here that need to be placed under lock and key. Lloyd especially. You're a problematic element, one that demands additional surveillance. Me? I can see it now. You'll wander into the lounge in the dead of night, only to find a sleepless girl gazing at the moon. And the next thing you know, the mood is just right to set off that fiery spark we call romance. Except it's not, because like we already basically had that scene between Ellie and Lloyd in Zero, and it kind of set it off depending on like who you choose to have your final like thing with in Zero, but doesn't otherwise, because he's a dense motherfucker. And we love it. We love him for it. That's so cliche that I can totally see his That's so cliche that I can totally see his white bread ass hitting the jackpot like that. His white bread ass. Oh my god, I like Lloyd being so cookie cutter, like good boy, that he's described as white bread. Fuck, that's good. Oh, I love it. Okay.
さん、従業員用の仮眠室あたりに泊まっていただけるかしら。
Lloyd, how would you like to spend the night in the employee break room?
いや、ありませんから。
I'll pass, thanks. Well, I never.
ちなみに私はこの後取締役会がありますから。
Incidentally,
一旦町へ戻ります。
I have to return to the city to attend a board meeting after this.
くれぐれも水着姿のエリーたちに熱情を催さないよう注意なさい。
I'd better not catch wind of you lusting after Ellie and the others when they're in their swimsuits. Oh, swimsuits, you say? Excuse me while I go put back on my pants. Because I'm wearing shorts right now.
悪さをしたら保安部を呼んで湖の真ん中に叩き込みますわよ。
Because if I do, I won't hesitate to call security and have you dropped in the middle of the lake. Understood?
だからしませんって。
Yes, ma'am.
でも、マリアベルさん、やっぱり相当お忙しいんですか？
Still, is everything all right, Maribel? You seem more busy than usual.
お父様があんなことを言い出してしまいましたから。
It's because of my father and that audacious proposal he made.
さすがに IBC の業務を並行することが難しくなったようで、すべて取締役会で引き取りました。
It's only complicated his work with the IBC, so a decision was made to have the board of directors take over the day-to-day operations.
当然私にもしわ寄せが回ってきてるわけですわ。
Which means that the stress ultimately falls onto my shoulders.
そうですか。本当にお疲れ様です。
So that's what happened. Yeah, I can only guess how hard it must be.
ま、適当に息抜きもしてくださいよ。
Thanks for giving us a breather today, but don't forget to take one for yourself.
休息とストレス解消は美容と健康にもいいしね。
Rest and relaxation are the keys to a healthy body and mind, you know.
お気遣い感謝しますわ。
But of course, I appreciate the concern.
お伝えしたように、湖水浴場の受付は1階アーケードの右翼方面にあります。
Remember, the lakeside beach reception is in the right wing of Michelin Center.
そこで水着もレンタルできるので、更衣室で着替えてくださいね。
They provide swimsuit rentals there too, as well as locker rooms for you to change in.
もちろん、男子の方ですわ。
You will be staying in the men's one. Am I clear?
いや、念を押さなくても。
Crystal.
とにかく了解っす。
Message received.
湖水浴場は皆さんのために昼まで貸し切りにしています。
Good. Now, Lakeside Beach is reserved for all of you until noon.
午後からはテーマパークで存分に楽しむといいでしょう。
After that, you can have all the fun you'd like at the theme park.
そちらは行ったことがある人も多いでしょうからお任せしますわ。
I imagine several of your group have visited before, so I trust you'll be able to find your own way around.
それと夜は迎賓館の方にディナーの席を用意しています。
This evening, we'll be hosting a dinner for all of you at the state guest house.
清掃の必要はありませんから時間までに来てください。
Formal attire is optional, so you need only worry about arriving on time rather than your wardrobes.
わかりました。
Sounds good.
至れり尽くせりで申し訳ないくらいだね。
You're getting the royal treatment.
どういたしまして。
You've really gone above and beyond for us all. It's my pleasure.
良き滞在を存分に羽を伸ばしてくださいね。
Have fun. You do be sure to relax and enjoy yourselves. Thanks, Maribel.
なんだかんだ言ってすごく親切な人なんだよな。
Teasing aside, I think Maribel can be kind when she wants to be.
妙に敵視してくるのは勘弁してほしいけど。
I just wish she'd lighten up a little on making me the enemy.
まあ、運命と思って諦めろ。
Sorry, pal, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
それじゃあ早速ビーチに行ってみるかね。
Enough about that, though. We got ourselves a beach to hit.
そうだね。
I couldn't put it better myself.
女性陣はどうしても準備に時間がかかるだろうし。
The ladies will probably take a while before they're ready.
先に行ってもいいんじゃない？
So what do you say to going on ahead of them?
そうだな。
I guess it wouldn't hurt.
それじゃあ一応声をかけていくとするか。
Let's let them know first, and then we can go. Yo! Bros! It's Bro Squad! And we're all level 66! Yo, it's the Satan's Bro Squad! We love Bro Squad! Who doesn't love Bro Squad? Kia, stop jumping on the bed. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bonked his head. Mama coming in and the doctor said, no more monkeys bounce on the bed. 4 little monkeys bounced on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. Then a poacher came in and shot 2 of them, and the last one was scarred for life. Only we were level 69. I mean, what? Look, Dio, the bed is so soft and fluffy. They do appear to be made of the very finest materials as far as jumping quality is concerned. I think I will join you. You're a member of the police, Tio. Getting us thrown out for causing a disturbance would be a bad look. I was only joking, of course. Were you Tio Tot? Were you really? I don't think she was. Soft fluffy beds are the best. I agree. Nice soft fluffy beds that you sink into, pretty damn good. My bed isn't like that. It's a little bit firmer, but that's because I'm a side sleeper, so I kind of like need it. But like whenever I like do get on like a really soft one that you just kind of like sink in, and you're like, oh, that's what I'm like, this is a bed that I want to sleep in for one night. Because if I sleep in it for any more than one night, my back would probably die. Can't believe Cecily and the others surprised us like that. I suppose it was more Belle's doing. Secret arrangements like these are what I've come to expect from her. Well, thanks to her, things have gone a lot spicier as far as the male-to-female ratio is concerned. I don't know about that, but I'm glad more of our friends are here with us. I suppose I can't disagree with that. Just a bit frustrating is all. Belle's been pulling stunts like this since we were little girls. Oh, speaking of Belle, she told me a little about Lakeside Beach earlier. It sounds lovely. I'm really looking forward to it. My urge to join her is rising. But I should focus on unpacking. It's rising. It's right. I want to jump on the bed so badly. Don't play coy with me, Fran. You tricked me into thinking you wouldn't be coming just yesterday. You went on and on about how you would come if you didn't have so much work and how you were so jealous, Noe. Okay, I'll admit it. I was invited at the same time you were. But Maribel swore us all to secrecy, so I wasn't allowed to say anything till today. I can't believe Fran of all people managed to put one over on me like that. What's that supposed to mean, Noe? Noelle's booing me. I may not solve crimes like you guys do, but I'm still a member of the police force, you know. I've been had. Big time. But what stings the most is that Fran of all people was the one who managed to do it. Why was Tio just walking in place? Because she's pondering, like, she's doing like a little, like, shuffle step because she wants to come and jump on the bed with Tio, or with Kia, but she can't. Everyone does. But yeah, that's also just like idling animation for like characters that you aren't controlling. Like, it's only when you're controlling them you can choose to have them stand still. But I think by default, unless they are potentially shopkeepers, they're generally walking. But yeah, no, she's debating whether or not she wants to come jump on the bed with Kia. Look, Tio, the bed is so soft and fluffy. They do appear to be made of the very finest as far as jumping going. Then go join you. Yeah. She wants to join. Yeah. Love it. Were you Tio Tot? Were you really? Just let Tio be a child. And this is the 3rd floor. We don't get to come to the 3rd floor in Cold Steel. We only get 2nd floor. Hey, we got the new sub-goal met in 50 minutes. Not a record, but not bad. I mean, you say in 50 minutes, it was like within friggin' 20 seconds of you stopping by, right? Like, I feel like the record should be ETA since Fontano arrived in the stream. Like, the longest I'm gonna have a sub-goal up is friggin' when you don't drop by. And I thank you very much for your generosity and continued support, Fontano. You're a fantastic person, and the continued lore that you build on my channel of being a mad lad is great. Getting ratted out by my boss. I'm like a manager, because remember, it's volunteer work. We're a non-profit here. Welcome. This is the exclusive bar for the VIP floor. I can serve you any cocktails or soft drinks that suit your fancy, so please order away. Okay. Can I get a Bloody Mary, but only the blood? Which I think is just tomato juice. Grr. Hey, it's like hanging out in the lounge, I see. The cruise ride tire you out or something. Woof. Doesn't seem like it did. Maybe it just needs a little space. We'll see you at the beach later, Zach. Your server is needed now. No, we talked about this before. Fontano has built the lores and rules. 1 sub-goal per stream. We have a rule due to certain reasons. Yeah, you want to describe what those reasons were, Fontano? I wish that was a thing that I'd like clip, but it happened over a decent amount of time. But like, yeah, you could explain it better than I could, Fontano. Yeah, here, that's 2nd floor. Come on, tell the class what you did. We have floors reserved for you and your friends today. We can also provide you with room service if you'd like. Miss Maribel has graciously offered to cover everyone's tabs. If there's anything you need at all, please don't hesitate to let us know. Okay, so how much would it cost to hire some hookers and get a pack of condoms? Where's the sub-goal list of backlog games at this point? Well, okay, you know, you want to know? I was looking at this the other day when I was talking with Rias about how I'm now like going through and being like, I have to schedule things around other things because like I'm playing this game, I'm playing Persona 5, and I have to play Trails to Reverie when that comes out. Niantic can be delayed a little bit if it needs to, but like I need to work around that. Also, I still need to play Mega Man Battle Network 5 and 6 totally legitimately. And like get those in because that was a beginning of the year New Year's resolution I said I was going to do. But right now, here are the upcoming games. Hollow Knight, Grandia HD, Fire Emblem 7, which is also just Fire Emblem, Ys 9, Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, and Torna, Tales of Zestiria, Devil Survivor 1, the 3DS version, Dark Souls 1, specifically a strength build, Fire Emblem 6, Ratchet & Clank 2, Tales of Arise, and now we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. That is 13 games. I was hoping that TMS would not be met immediately because this is like a 10 sub goal. It wasn't the standard 5 one because I recognized that I had 12 games that I still have to get through. Very sure the only sub goal in almost 2 years of watching hasn't been Bison's Jai sub goal. That and like other like minor random ones, but like other filler ones, which is just SMT game with some weird story and loosely fired. Yeah, get it right. Its full name is Shin Megami Tensei Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE Encore. Oh, it does have Shin Megami Tensei in the title? I didn't realize. I literally thought it was like its own like thing. Okay, so it is actually just it is straight up an SMT spin-off. I didn't realize that. Yo, when are we getting like now with the eShop down like on 3DS and stuff? When is Atlas gonna frickin' like port the Devil Survivor games to PC? And when are they gonna make a third Devil Survivor game? Because that's the spin-off I want, right? Persona, good and all. I would love a Persona 6. But you know what I would be ecstatic about? I want a Devil Survivor 3. Please. Blade 1 and 2 and Torna is gonna be a really... See, 2... So, 2 might not be as long as you'd think, because I will be doing New Game Plus on that one. So, I at least won't have to gotcha for, like, all the environmental stuff. But, once again, the Xenoblade games have a lot of story, which, similar to Trails, take up a lot of time just watching it. So, think about it, Ilya. You and I haven't had a slumber party since we were girls. Hey, you're right. I'm missed getting to spend that kind of time with you since Arkansas started keeping me busy. I know. We could even hop into the bath together if you want, just like the good old days. It's not that I particularly mind, but isn't our bath too small to fit 2 adults? Cecily's thinking like, the math just doesn't work out. Unskippable cutscenes. I mean, it's not even a matter of unskippable. It's more like I gotta watch them the first time through. Okay, that's my bad name for SMT, and that Encore is important. Encore is important because that indicates that's the Switch version. Yes. I'm sure we can make it work. Less room the merrier, I say. My hands need to get busy seeing just how much you've grown since back then. Oh, Ilya, you never change, do you? Damn it, Ilya. What I wouldn't give to be you tonight. Maribel thought I was the problematic element here. Hello, Lloyd. Are you already finished unpacking? Yeah, more or less. You don't mind going on ahead. You and Ilya can join us when you're ready. Take as much time as you need. If you insist, I promise we'll try not to be too late. I've dreamed of partying my butt off at the beach ever since I saw photos of one in a foreign magazine. Speaking of dreams, I'm really looking forward to seeing you and the rest of the girls dressed for the occasion. Do you know about the issues around TMS, Bison? The issues. Not sure what issues you mean. Because similar to, I think, like around that time's like controversy, it was like, oh, the idol outfits have a little, they're covered up. They're covering the belly button or whatever. like similar to stuff that was going on with like what Fire Emblem Awakening or Fates when they were localized, like that level of issue. But I mean, like, other than that, I haven't heard any big things about the game. Speaking of dreams, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Yeah. Oh, right. They do lend out swimsuits over the reception desk, don't they? In that case, I might as well find myself the sexiest, flashiest outfit they have. So it wasn't like me for, but basically they overhype the SMT Fire Master, and it's kind of barely both, as the element names and combat SMT. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, they use basically Fire Emblem characters for stands, and they use SMT combat, and the story is, yeah. Some of the bigger FE characters can't, yeah. Like, it's not as much of a crossover as, like, using two small portions from two franchises to make something different. Basically, everyone got disappointed. Yeah. Like, as I've said before, right, I think I would rather enjoy, like, a Fire Emblem cross SMT, right? Like, take more of, like, put more... I mean, I guess that is Devil Survivor. Like, I kind of like that. like, once again, my favorite part of Devil Survivor, right? It's like you get the isometric board, you get your fucking party of 3, you go up, you initiate combat on the isometric board, then you go into SMT combat for an instance of combat like a Fire Emblem game using your 3. Like, I love it. Fantastic. Awesome. Like, Devil Survivor 3, when? Probably never, but hopefully. I remember taking the poll that they put out. Like, it was like, oh, well, it's like, what kind of games do you look for? I was like, this, I want this. Like, I did all the things that I like on it. I was like, do it, give me the like, give me Devil Survivor. Give me. My favorite character is this young girl who's the tank of the group. Really good tank. Okay, so Lucy card that feels like Nintendo won an exclusive SMT game that isn't part of the SMT series. You need to make it Nintendo, but not. Yeah. Or like, right? Yeah. It maybe like it is one of those things where like, yeah, it was Wii U exclusive. So it's like, okay, maybe they were just trying to try to sell consoles at that point, because it's like, we did not do well. Okay, so might as well find this. Yeah. Don't go too crazy, okay? Made me a little mad at basically shadow dropped. Lol. Nintendo just did what TMS did in Fire Emblem Engage regardless. Yeah. Like, yeah, they just did stands of the Fire Emblem characters, but like better. Yeah, no, like I said at the end of the Fire Emblem stream, where it's like I'm interested to see where the next Fire Emblem game goes. Honestly, I would like it if they tried to go back to more like Radiant Dawn, Path of Radiance, like level of storytelling, because like OG Fire Emblem, like 7 and 8, like stories are all right, they're whatever. And like Engage, it's an alright story, whatever. Fire, like 3 houses, it's alright, whatever. But like Radiant Dawn, pretty involved story, like very big cast, 3 like at certain point you had 3 different armies that you had to like do things with. It's like really cool. Like I would like a much larger scale story in a Fire Emblem game. Like it came out no Encore. Yeah, it was, well, I mean, they've just been trying to get every Wii U game ported to the Switch, right? It's just like, you just get them all off that one and give them a second chance. Just do it. Like, I love TMS more than most, but who asked for Encore? I mean, Encore is the only way that I was ever going to get it. True, Wii U was a flaw of a console. Wish they did make a remake of Xenoblade X for Encore. Yeah, that's basically the last Wii U exclusive game that people are like, yeah, could you bring that over? Radiant Dawn was a game that I loved despite not knowing anything about FE or Path of Radiance. I knew about FE, didn't play Path of Radiance, and I still loved it. Because, like, Ike came in, and I was like, I don't know who this fellow is, but he seems rather cool. I played as him in Smash Brothers. We like Ike. We like Ike. Do you know how to merge this? Don't go too crazy, okay? Yeah, let's go. Alright, room service. No one in here. We're gonna have a party in here. This orgy room? No, probably not. Hey, how's it going, you two? Hello, everybody. Hey, so the ladies where I can see all settled in? Mostly not for more or less, with one tiny exception. Today will be Silly's first time in the water, so she's a little nervous. Risha, cram it! No, he's trying to hide, soldier. Soldier. Soldier, there we go, not soldier. Soldier. Everyone's gonna find out one way or another once we hit the beach. Soldier, that's not my name! Don't worry about it. There's Tiotai, Youngster, Keto. You're part of a select club now, soldier. In what world? I wouldn't sign up for something that dumb if you paid me. At any rate, if you can't swim, I'm sure Rishia's already offered to teach you now. Of course. Knowing Silly, she'll probably be a quick study too. Rishia, does Lloyd get to look at her panties in this game as well? Yeah. There's a person on Reddit that's been posting a picture of a character named Murderous and rotating it by 5 degrees every week until there's Xenoblade Chronicles X2 news. They're on week 221. I don't, like, I gotta be real. I don't think we're gonna get Xenoblade X2. like, maybe? But like, anytime you see an interview, they're always mentioning like, oh, this is a story of like Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3 told like never before. Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3. This is the final thing of Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3, but we're not done with Xenoblade as a thing. It's like, only X2 became a real MMO. Yeah. Xenoblade 14 MMO Skyward Sword. Did you know that there's Heavensward expansion free trials? You can play the critically acclaimed MMO. Did you know that I could potentially shill money and play Final Fantasy 14? That's what they thought about Ferd on the escalator. Okay, quick litmus test. How do you guys feel about me shilling out for Final Fantasy 14? Because you know what, if Stream Elements comes back and says there's another sponsorship potential, maybe I will. Although, as I've said, MMOs just really aren't my jam. But I do know that you can play FF14 with a controller, which is interesting, because it was built for consoles prior to PC. I'll watch if I'm not too vivid. Okay. Of course, knowing Silly, she'll probably be a quick stay too. And I definitely wouldn't play through all of it. It would probably be like a 1 or 2 stream kind of deal. But, yeah. Maybe. Knowing Silly, she'll probably be a quick study too. There we go. Did I read that 3 times? I know I can learn. It's just, I'm not sure if I'm ready. Well, whenever you are, you can head to the beach with Rishia. I feel a little guilty taking a day off at the beach when I could be rehearsing. And again, you said the rest and relaxation are just as important for an artist as practice. I agree with her. None of us take days off often, so there's no harm in a little change of pace. Same goes for you, Rishia. You're right. I should do what I can do to enjoy it. Yeah, when I hear about Great Ryuko, I found about Xeno X. I've never gone swimming before. This will be my very first time. You should offer to teach me. I don't know. I don't want to drown. You are afraid of some things. Even you have a soft side, soldier. Would you get lost and stop calling me soldier already? Hey, man. Hey, man. Talk. Hello, everyone. They're fine with the plus 6. They're comfortable, thank you. Very glad to hear that. Should there be anything like, please notify me. I have someone fix it right away. Yo, where the bitches at? I'm sorry, sir. I cannot provide these bitches as you so refer them. But I would be most certainly fine with getting into a nice skimpy swimsuit and servicing you if I must. Oh, hello, sir. Is there anything I can... Wait, Wazzy? You wouldn't happen to be one of the guests staying in the 3rd floor suites, would you? And what if I am? Mental explosion. No, this is so unfair. Why did I have to be in charge of cleaning this floor today? I don't get it. What she just talked about. What an odd duck. This is so unfair. Why did I have to be in charge of cleaning this floor today? I'm missing my big opportunity to be Wazzy's hotel maid. I want to serve my twink. Oh, God. Okay, no, so... What are you giving me those eyes for, Fontano? That's what she's thinking. Think we lost Kiwi. Yeah, probably, maybe. People drop in and out. My husband owns a mansion in the residential area just beyond here. It's more a vacation home, really. We visit whenever we get a moment away from work, such as now, in fact. Give us a brief moment of respite from all the hurry-scurry Prospect City. Oh, well, lordy, no. I want to have a vacation home. Oh, look at me. This is what it looks like on the inside. Normally, this jewelry store only does business with members, though a few of my patrons have brought me here as a guest before. Exclusive clientele only then, huh? Sounds like elitist horseshit to me. Does that mean we shouldn't have stepped inside? Ah, welcome! Uh-oh. Welcome to Diamond. My most gracious apologies, but may I see your letters of introduction? Well, about that. Unfortunately, we don't have one, my good man. Then I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to exit the premises. We at Diamond operate on a membership system. As such, only those enrolled may shop at our stores, even though we are going to get rid of this when it comes down to Crossbill 3 or Cold Steel 4 when we go to Michelin for that, and we can shop here. Yeah. Fuck off. See how it is? Just blow this joint, Lloyd. Right, we should be on our way to the beach. Did you say, Lloyd? Pardon me, would you all happen to be from the special support section? Yeah, we are. What if I gave you, like, all of my Sabbath? I'm so terribly sorry. Let's get you fired up. Miss Mary, I don't know if I asked in advance that you would be visiting us today, and I couldn't see your special support section patches on your freaking jacket. I'm told to give you special permission to enter the store. Please forgive me for failing to recognize. So, does that mean we can shop here too? That is correct. We will hereafter be regarding you as special members of our establishment. Do inform me if there's anything you need assistance with. I am at your service. I didn't notice your SSS swag. So Maribel was throwing her weight around for us. How considerate. Yes, for, as it were. You hear how quickly he changed his tune when he found out we know her? Holy crap. Oh, whatever. Might as well take the opportunity to look around for a bit. Sure, I don't know if I can afford anything here, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to browse. God, I do just love bros hanging out right now. Isn't this necklace simply stunning? Oh, it would be such a wonderful treat. What do you say, dearest? So you wish, so shall it be done, my sweet. Buying a necklace or two for you is no trouble at all. With the ABC Fund Michelin. Probably a portion of it. Froswell is home to the Maine's mine, where a large quantity of septium is unearthed. Knowing that, it's no surprise that the septium pieces are of such a high quality. Diamond never fails to impress. Fine quality, yes. My most gracious apologies for earlier. You and your friends will be here after our special member to feel very okay, cool. Welcome, darlings, to my pride and joy, the fabulous Diamond Jewelry. Here at our establishment, we carry nothing less than the highest quality jewelry. I must wonder if you've earned the right to wear the eternal brilliance that we sell here. Yeah, okay, cool. Where do I buy? Is this literally a come in and just, we can only window shop? Okay, you fucks. Don't even give me the option. Okay, I see. Gabriel, did you have some air business here? Such a high-class neighborhood. This is nothing to offer commoners like you. Not leaving, are we? Well, burn the image of our opulent manners into your otherwise mundane memory. What a pretentious asshole. Yo, what's up, kiddies? How's it going? Hey, listening, Sal, you're my fiance, so you need to strive to become the very best man you can be. Oh yeah, you're this kid. I need a man who has it all. Smarts, athletic ability, compassion, those sorts of things. Sure, but how do I even begin? First, you need a strict training regimen. No less than 100 push-ups and sit-ups a day. Second, you need to study every night. Anything lower than top marks on your Sunday school tests and we're done. Come on, Emmy, be reasonable. Oh, Sal, that won't do it all. You need to be a proper gentleman at all times. You're gonna become my husband someday. And these expectations can be so unreasonable. Isn't growing up hard enough? Now she's raising the bar even further. Yeah. Hey man, at least you're at least somewhat friends with the girl. Although there is a champion who's gonna be around in like a couple of years. Like, you know. That the couple in CS3 and 4. That I really like dropping it on them, where it's just like, oh yeah, look at that. We have the kid find her necklace, and then literally through the country being mobilized for war, he's there for her. Like he's a good kid. Whereas Bigger Harmon's old estate was recently converted into a state guest house by the government. He even has the dignitaries from all the visiting nations during the last month's trade conference. Overall, the neighborhood is much safer, not to mention cleaner, than when Hartman was hosting his secret parties. Can we just go? This guest house is this way. We don't have any reason to go there until tonight's dinner party. Yeah. Deja vu, blah, blah, da, 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 blah, da, 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 da. Okay. Yeah, it's just in a minute. Gracious me, but everything here looks absolutely scrumptious. Perhaps I should consider stopping for lunch. No sense in coming all this way to Michelin just to scrimp on meals after all. Take it easy, will you, Dad? What do you think this is? A pie eating contest? Learn some table manners before people start eating. I mean, hey man, pie eating contest? I'd go. There's a recipe in Crossville Towns here. I figured there'd be a recipe somewhere. Furiously stabbing food in Michelin. Yeah. Munch, chew, slurp. Lakeside Beach only just opened, but it's already been making waves with people of all ages. Weather hasn't begun to cool down just yet, so Michelin's had even more visitors than usual looking to beat the heat. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind an afternoon in the water myself. Now then, what should I order? Is hot house, or maybe something cool and refreshing would be nice. A glass of cooled piss. Sounds like something a rich person would order. We came here to grab a late breakfast. Oh, pardon me, a fancy schmancy place like this would probably call it that brunch, wouldn't it? Fancy schmancy. Okay. Because I've been like scouring, like I haven't found a recipe book yet, so my first time going to Michelin, I must say, it's everything I imagined, Margaret. If I bought a house here, I could finally move out and leave my good-for-nothing husband in the dust. Once I finish eating, I'm heading straight to the residential area to scope out the villas. You're looking at buying a house and before getting rid of your good-for-nothing husband? Do you have reason to believe that your husband would get your existing house? Okay, shop. It's in the hotel if you... Oh, it is? Okay, I guess I missed it. Welcome to Fortuna. We serve only the best food made with the highest quality ingredients here at the most opulent location in Crossville, Michelin. Fine dining experience with us is worth a small fortune if you excuse the wordplay, so please enjoy your stay. Okay, let's go get it. What floor is it on? So I thought I checked everywhere. Oh, here we go. Freaking, I'm an idiot. I checked everywhere. It was literally in the lobby. The book entitled Lovely Holiday Selected Recipes. The rest are usually on the table. Select matcha latte. See, that's one thing where it's like, I'm not sure if I am fond or not fond of, like, matcha flavored things. I don't think I've had it enough to determine. Ugh, it's gonna be a pain in the ass getting all the things. Like, I feel like the recipes in this game take so many more ingredients than other games. It's gonna be a massive pain in the ass trying to get the thing filled out. Ugh. Okay. Dunk sauce, I have to keep telling people to think of this thing grassy. Just say earthy. Right? That's the way to say it. Yeah, someone would say that was a compliment. No trip to Michelin is complete without a visit to the theme park. Tickets are a little pricey, but trust me, it's worth every meal. Most people would not take it that way. Yeah, to calling a drink grassy, that's a compliment. Is it? The girlfriend went ahead without me, now I can't find her at all. Where the heck is she? Cruise ship is leaving soon. My boyfriend and I got separated at the theme park, and I haven't seen him since. If he doesn't show up, I'll have to go home without him. I'm not leaving without you, babe. I'm leaving with you. I'm leaving without you, babe. Let me think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't leave anything behind at the hotel, did I? No, definitely not. Probably. Could you please stop having and hawing like that, dear? I'd rather you not spike my anxiety right before we board. You should be soon departing. That's the point. Okay. Okay, before we hit the beach, we need to catch one of those big mouth fish Randy likes so much. Yo! A bruffish? Bamboo rod. Let's try. Dumplings! 1, 2, 3. Damn. Okay, I was ready. Deluxe dumplings. I think this is the first rod that can actually use them. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Caught a trout. I think I've already previously caught a trout. Let's go for a snow crab. A snow pea. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I don't want. Okay. Little shooter. Row. Gotta go through the full gambit. 1, 2, 3. Trout. Are there any fish that I can only catch here that I need to be careful about? Because I don't think that's usually a thing. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Fighter. It's a fighter. Hey, look at that one. It's a fighter, mate. Like in second chapter, the Guardian was not necessarily the last fish you got. Oh, was that second chapter? See, I don't remember the fishing in the Sky trilogy all that much. The only one that I remember is the door challenges. It was just only that. Okay. What, was the Guardian on like in the city, like in a water thing in the city? Boutique Costa Rica. Shot by Mega. Ooh, cross the times. Okay, yeah, let's buy that because I'm probably gonna need it at some point, right? Emergency puppet revives with full HP, EP, and that's pretty good. Stellar, lunar, solar. Ooh, see, these are all good, but I'm saving up for that evergreen. The resorts. Okay. Conk. I'm carrying swimsuits here at the Costa Rica now that Lakeside Beach is open. Each of our highly fashionable designs is imported from Zamira's coastal regions. Please have a look around. If I may, ma'am, I think this ribbon is just what you need to pull your outfit together. Like this? There we are. Now doesn't that look stunning? Absolutely marvelous, darling. Something like that makes me feel weird. They told me that Lakeside Beach has been booked out for a private party all morning. Must be nice. I wish I could afford to reserve the whole place like that. I could relax interruption free. Okay. I forgot that you go to a resort in Liberal. It was a wooden inn with a. Yeah, I remember the resort. I just forgot that you go to it then. Okay, let's save there. Michelin Lake Beach. Lake Beach. Okay, this is it. Lakeside Beach reception area. Should be able to rent out some swimwear for ourselves at the deck before the lab and during the. Okay. Yeah, never in my wildest dreams did I think they built a place like this here. Huh. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's check in with the receptionist. Interesting. I think yeah, it's definitely. Wait, is it different? It's definitely differently structured than in Cold Steel 4, right? Because in Cold Steel 4, you come in through Michelin, then there is a desk here, but isn't there? I thought there was a pathway splitting these two chairs, or is it just a straight shot out? Can't remember. I think it's different. Maybe it's just more active in those games, so I think I just would think it's different. Good morning. Welcome to Lakeside Beach. Are you with the party from the special support section? Yeah, that's us. I guess Maribel gave you all the heads up, yeah? That's right. Your reservation is until noon today. We have several swimsuits prepared, so choose whichever one you like. Don't mind if we do. Alright, let's see what we're working with. Well, guys, put on your trunks. Trunks. You know, Lloyd. Am I wrong, or is it the greatest perk we've gotten since joining the SSS? I don't know about that. I mean, being a surrogate father to Kia is a pretty great perk. Still, a part of me is looking forward to seeing the girls in their swimsuits. Yo, Lloyd has... Congratulations, we have confirmed Lloyd has lost! I'm with you there, pal. We're gonna get to see Ilya and Cecily in bikinis at the same time.
リーシャちゃんみたいな超有望株なんかもいるし。
Not to mention Risha. They don't call her up and coming for nothing.
落ち着けって。
Pace yourself.
でも何気に俺たちの周りってスタイルのいい女性が多いよな。
But yeah, can't deny the women in our lives are pretty attractive.
セシルネイやリーシャもそうだけど、エリーもかなり。
Yo, they're just discussing this. Not just Cecily and Risha, but Ellie is very well endowed in her own right.
リリアさんはモデルみたいだし、ノエルやフランちゃんも出るとこ出てるしな。
Ellie's got that sexy star power, while Noelle and Fran are slender in all the right places. You mean Lloyd definitely had less when we apprehended Sully.
まあ、ティオスケやシュリゾーはこれからに期待ってことで。
As for Teotan Soldier, I'm sure they'll both be real winners someday too.
失礼だぞ、ランディ。
Don't make it weird, Randy.
そういえば、キーヤって泳げ
I
る
mean,
のかな。
I would say at this point, right, Randy saying that, it's not him making it weird. He's obviously not going after them. He's just saying, oh, you know what? I'm sure in the future they'll be fine. Because you know what, right, if you imagine them all listening in on this conversation, those two would probably be pissed that they weren't mentioned in the list. Like, I can guarantee that. It's like, hey, why didn't you say anything about us? And it's like, well, you two were basically children to me. That's why. But I'm sure you'll look attractive in the future. I said that like 3 times I worked today. Not the Randy part. Just occurred to me. Does Kia know how to swim?
聞いたことはなかったけど。
I don't think we asked her.
大昔のことだし、本人も覚えてねえんだろう。
Well, if she ever did, we already know it'd be too far back for her to remember.
一応溺れないように誰か見てた方がいいかも。
Guess we'll just have to keep an eye on her and make sure she's good out there.
ああ、そうしよう。
I can handle that.
ほんと親バカだね。
That girl's blessed to have such loving fathers in the both of you. Yo, okay, he's wearing like Wazzy. He can't be without a zipper. He's like a Kingdom Hearts character. He needs zippers at close hand. Let's go. Wazzy?
もう着替えたのかよ。
You done changing already?
ああ、外で待ってるよ。
I'll be waiting outside.
アディオス。
Adios. It's in his contract. He needs zippers.
怪しい。
Suspicious.
怪しいって、ワジか？
Suspicious? You mean Wazzy?
そりゃいつも基本的に怪しいやつだとは思うけど。
Then again, there's always been something fishy about him since the day we met.
いやー、そうじゃねえ。
Nah, that's not what I mean.
俺たちが喋っている間に素早く着替える。
What's up with him sneaking off to change while we're busy talking?
そして男女兼用にもなるセパレートタイプの水着。
Did he seriously put on a 2-piece unisex swimsuit?
怪しくないか。
What's up with that?
どこが怪しいんだかさっぱりわからないんだが。
Why would his choice of swimwear be suspicious?
たく、僕年人名。
Are you seriously this dance? Is Randy suspecting that Wazzy is a woman?
俺たちも早く着替えようぜ。
I think he is, but I'm pretty sure Wazzy is a dude. I think. Literally the entire game is an is he or isn't he? It's even. God damn it, Randy. Wazzy Pascal. Fuck. Might be. If I ever used him in combat. I mean, like, dude. Like, he's on the male floor at the SSS building. And he was with Bro Squad. Come on, man. Whatever. We should hurry up and get changed too.
だな。待たせても悪いし。
Right. No sense in making him wait. Yo! Yo!
ワジ。
Hello.
お待たせ。
I am jacked white bread. Sorry that took so long, Wazzy.
よし、そんじゃ行くか。
Alright, let's go. Hello. You got I see you got those scars. You want to know how I got these scars? Oh yes, Roido Bannings. Yeah. I mean, they did both go through like pretty intense training, right? Like at the police academy and the CGF, and obviously Randy's what he is. But it's like, yeah, I could believe that Lloyd is kind of like jacked. I'm not expecting him to be like undefined muscle, right? Like this, I'm not expecting this, but like, you know, like at least a little bit, right? Like some definition. But I'm not expecting like ultra six pack, like look at me, pecs that can juggle fucking balls on him when I flex them. He just hides under several layers of jacket, yeah. Dude, don't you know, the more layers you have, the more fashionable you are. And the more protected from bullets you are. Ah, god damn it. Once again, I think my controller is running out of power from playing P5 for how long I do, and then me not charging it afterwards. Come in. Come in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in the controller. Yeah. There you go. Really glad that for the PS5 controller they used USB-C as the connector instead of stupid ass PS4's micro USB. Fucking hate that thing. It feels not stable whatsoever, like it'll snap off at any moment. What's wrong? Yeah. Something on my face?
いや、男の水着姿ってのはさして面白くないと思ってね。
I was just thinking how boring men's swimsuits reveals can be.
まあ、二人とも体格はいいから、がっかりはされないと思うよ。
Still, at least you're both well built, so there's not too much to be disappointed in. Straight up. Are you for real? Why don't we ask for your opinion?
それじゃあ、ビーチに出るとしようか。
All in good fun. Ready to hit the beach? Yo! Damn it! I can't look at them closer. No portrait specifics for. Yeah, what happens? This is the door of the women's changing room. We should back away slowly before people start getting the wrong idea. No, you should back away quickly. Rules for visiting Lakeside Beach. Warm up before entering the water. Do not enter the water in street clothes. Swimsuits can be loaned at reception. Follow the lifeguard's instructions. Please follow the rules and have fun. Hey, Black Sun, how you doing today? Wazzy Bitborn, 7 out of 10. We're dropping by for the best part. We get to see the boys in swimsuits. How are you doing tonight, stream? I'm doing well today. You know, went to the doctor today, got perfect clean bill of health, annual physical. Doctor was very happy. Immediately afterwards, went out and ate Chinese buffet, which was fantastic. And then I came home and just didn't return to remote work, so I had a half day of work today. So that was pretty awesome. And now I've just been talking to chat a lot this stream, and I've probably played what amounts to like, I don't know, like 5 minutes in the speedrun over the course of 3 hours. Thanks for the say. I think it was probably Fontano. Like if it was recently, it was Fontano. He did 10 tonight. Like the friggin' mad lad he is. This is incredible. This is my first time being at a beach. I never realized how pretty they are. Well, natural beaches are only found on ocean coastlines, and rarely does the sand have this milky shade. There's a white sand beach called White Haven in the Central East. I'd assume it was imported from there. I feel like he says White Heaven. Yeah, I feel like White Heaven probably could have gone either way. And most likely it doesn't matter. It's a beach name. So. Until we go there in Trails 14 and it's like, this is a central core element. It's called White Heaven because it's angelic in nature and all the sand is angel particles. And it's like, oh. Shit, I thought I remember you. You did Trail speedrun. I do Cold Steel 2 speedrun. Fontano does other Trail speedruns. but most of the time I'm just casually playing JRPGs in general. Like Azure. Because this is a blind run Azure. Seriously? Seriously? They really have to go that far? Whitehaven is a town in England. Ah! You know what, honestly, yeah, that sounds like a pretty common name. There's probably a Whitehaven somewhere in the US too.
改めて IBC の資産力が垣間見られるよね。
Never underestimate how deep the IBC's pockets are.
それより女性陣が来る前に準備した方がいいんじゃない？
Anyway, should we get everything set up before the girls come down?
そうだな。
Oh, yeah.
やっぱビーチにパラソルとかは定番だろう。
Can't call it much of a beach without some parasols to lie under.
なるほど。雑誌とかでもそんな写真があった気がする。
I get you. That's the way it always looks in the magazines.
よし。手分けして設置するか。
But how are you doing today, Black Sun? Hope you're doing a good. What have you been playing lately? What's everyone been playing lately? I feel like I should have probably asked this when a lot of the others were here. But I want to know. Because I know, Neko Dave, you're playing Chained Echoes right now. And as far as I understand, that's a really good game. Confirm or deny? Xeno 3? Yeah, you are, Fontano. Probably moving on to the DLC afterwards, I would imagine. I say we split up and start getting everything ready. Oh yeah, get them beach chairs out. I'm playing some Magic the Gathering. Nice. What kind of decks do you usually roll with? Because when I played, I usually like to play with either like a red deck, so for some fast, or I would usually try and play with a green deck, because I just liked playing with the green. Well, specifically my brother's green deck. It was a green elf deck, so I liked it. But yeah, it's an expensive hobby, so I fell off a while ago. Play limited by like green deck. Yeah. I have thought about like doing like the online Magic the Gathering, like that way. Because I mean, also once it gets to a point, it's like, yeah, cards take up a lot of space if you have too many of them. That should do it. Not too shabby.
上出来上出来。
Well done, one and all.
それじゃあ早速僕は休ませてもらおうか
Now,
な。
if you don't mind, this is my cue to take a break. I'm gonna plop down in this chair with my sunglasses on. Already?
なんだか俺以上に遊び慣れてやがる。
How in the hell did we go and hire someone even more chill than I am? Lloyd! Cue voice. Oh.
お、来たみてえだ
Oh,
な。
here they come. Y'all, what's up, ladies? Wowee! Just look at it all. The sand is so white.
確かにこれは
It
驚き
really
で
is.
す。
More than I was expecting.
ベルったらいつの間にこんなものを。
Where did Belle find the time to put something like this together?
お姉ちゃん早く。
Come on, Noe. Hurry it up already. Yo! We love Jean Bottoms.
ビーチは逃げないでしょ。
Relax, Fran. It's not like the beach is going anywhere. Yo, and this is one of the few instances where you see Noelle without a hat. Where's her beach hat? Nice. Sorry we took so long.
わざわざパラソルを用意してくれたんだ。
Do we have you to thank for setting up the parasols too?
さすが気が利きますね。
That was thoughtful.
ほらお姉ちゃん、せっかくだから前に出てアピールしなきゃ。
Come on, Noe. Quit hiding the goods and get yourself out there.
ちょっとそんな押さないでってば。
Hey, don't push so hard. Jaw drops.
ほほう、いいじゃんいいじゃん。
Hey, not bad.
みんな似合ってるね。
The five of you are absolutely stunning.
そうかしら。
You're just saying that.
あまり自信はありませんが。
I am still not entirely comfortable.
ロイドさん。
Hey, Lloyd.
誰の水着姿が一番似合ってますか？
Random question, but whose swimsuit do you think looks best? Fuck. What?
もうフラン。
Lloyd on the spot, you know. This will affect the ending of the game. Jeez, Fran, don't tease him like that.
どうしたんだい？さっきからぼーっとしてるけど。
What are you so flustered over, Lloyd? You've been slack-jawed since the second they got here. Better keep a lid on it, buddy. Your eyeballs might shoot out of your sockets. I guess you really can have too much of a good thing. Seriously, all of you really do look great. I'm kind of speechless. I didn't know better. I think you just stepped out of a fold out from a swimsuit magazine or something. You look at those, Lloyd? Kia taking the compliment. Thanks. Lloyd? What? Dude, Lloyd just pulling out. It's like, you are supermodels. Lloyd never changes, does he? I've used hammers less blunt than him. How blunt are you? More. I make a hammer look sharp. Huh? Randy in heaven. Lloyd, my man, you'll be lucky if today doesn't end you with you sleeping with the fishes. Boys will be boys. Yahoo! Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm surprised they did not give me a choice to say, hey, whose do you like best? With the obvious safe option being Kia. Like, yo. Ilya with the slingshot? My god. Well, now this is breathtaking. It's like a little slice of heaven on the lakeshore. The sand is pure white. Wow. Sup? Parting the seas. Sorry if we kept you waiting. Yo. Now it looks like you've already had plenty of other cuties to feast your eyes on. Oh, you even set up parasols and deck chairs for us. Thank you. Whatever. We could have done that on our own, you know. Randy by name, Randy by nature. Yeah. Oh. Too much of a good thing. Randy's speechless this time too. Kia's amazed. She's like, damn, they looking fine. This is a bit too, what's the word? Dazzling? No, maybe overwhelming is more like it. They're just sparkling. The professionals have taken the stage. We never stood a chance. They mean business. Oh, shush. You four are plenty alluring as is, I assure you. You all get my seal of approval. I have to agree. You look absolutely glamorous, Ellie. No, that's no surprise. And I could just eat Kia and Tio both up. I don't even have a quarter as much glamour as you, Cecily. Really? Yeah, well, the beach gets my vote as the real beauty here. Yeah, I guess it's not half bad. Hey, how long are you guys gonna just stand there all bug-eyed? What? No, hey Kia, you wanna go swim in the water? Huh? Oh no, any more of that and my soul would have just leapt out of my body. Men are so simple. Okay, but Tio, you can't blame them in this one instance, right? There's too many bombshells standing in one place. Only when compared to the complexity that is the female mind. The competition's so much stiffer than I was expecting. We're gonna have to step our game up. We're gonna step our game up, Noe. What does that even mean? After a few warm exercises, the game split up into groups to have their beach time fun. Lloyd, together with Risha, went into the water to give Kia and Sully swimming lessons. It's perfect, Kia. Keep it up and you'll have it down. Really? Oh, I think I've got it now. Let me try my own, Lloyd. Said no child ever. It's always no, don't let go of me, don't let go of me, don't let go of me, I'm gonna drown, don't you let go of me, you son of a bitch. And it's like, okay, throw you in the pool. Okay, I'm doing good, okay, I'm good, don't throw me in again. Oh, he's throwing me in again. Okay, I'm in again. Okay, I'm good, okay, we done throwing me? Okay, you're not done throwing me in. Okay, fine, okay, I got it, I'm safe, I'm done. It's down pat. Let me try it on my own, Lloyd. Are you sure? Well, alright. Wow. In a circle. I live at a lake, so we just kind of learn not to remember anything more than basics. Yeah, I grew up with a pool in my backyard, so that's how I learned. And it was like, oh yeah. I learned because I kept falling in the goddamn pool and I had to keep getting pulled out, and eventually it was like, okay, I'm good. Wow. Even got a specific animation for it as well. That's pretty nice.
Kia, you
sure you've never gone swimming before, Kia? You look like a pro. I don't think so. Look at Shorty go. Teach me how to do that too, Risha. Sure thing. Her body is a little tense, so you want to make sure that... You girls catch on quick. Sure do. It's just swimming. Not like we're doing anything that impressive. Hey, Sully. Let's swim to that rock over there. What? Why should I? Okay, I should sleep before there's anything extravaganza tomorrow. Also. Just remember to be careful. I say extravaganza should not be a word. It's a difficult word to type, isn't it? You can go to that rock, but not one reach farther, okay, you two? Roger! Fine, I'll go already! Nah? Well, why shouldn't it be a word? I'll look at them go. Just, you know how some words just look bad? Yeah, it doesn't look like... It doesn't look... Yeah. Maybe instead of an A after the V, it should be an E. Like extravaganza. I feel like that would look better. Like, it's definitely the second A. That's making it not look right. The angles instead of the negative, yeah. You're gonna be alright. You should. It's fairly shallow around here, so I'm sure a little ways out won't hurt. Kia truly is amazing, you know. She surprises me every time. I mean, she took to the water in no time at all. It's really impressive. Yeah, I get the feeling she's done this before. It was probably all muscle memory for her. Sully learned the ropes pretty fast herself, though. Didn't she say she's never gone swimming before today? That's right, but she's really been doubling down on training her dexterity during rehearsal. She's the type that can get the gist of something after seeing it done just once, which is insane.
頑張っているみたいだな。
Is that so? Take it she's been working hard since joining the troop.
そういえば、アルカンシェルの舞台、リニューアルするんだって。
That reminds me. Arkansas is putting on an updated version of its show, right?
はい。リニューアルといっても、金の太陽、銀の月であるのは変わらないんですけど。
Yes, well, it's ultimately still the golden sun, silver moon that you remember.
シュリちゃんが新たな第三の姫として登場するアレンジが入っているんです。
But our newest rendition, so it will be starring as a third princess.
彼女がメインのシーンなんかも追加されているんですよ。
We even added some extra scenes for her to take the spotlight in.
そりゃすごいな。
That's incredible.
まさか最初に会った時はこんなに早く活躍するなんて思わなかったけれど。
It's amazing that she's getting a major role so quickly, especially after what happened when we first met her.
そうですね。
I'm proud of her.
多分イリアさんの導きとシュリちゃん自身の頑張りがあったからだと思います。
I think Sully's tenacity has meshed perfectly with Ilya's particular brand of guidance.
私なんかよりずっと。
Perhaps better than I have. Huh? 2 things before I go. Okay.
大したことじゃ。
It's nothing.
そのちょっと疲れ
There's
た
a
の
cat
で
here that gives
向こ
you
う
a
で
book.
休んでいますね。
Yes, there is a cat, and because I do have the book list over on the right side. It's like I have to give it cat food after something, but before the next thing. The choices are all DP, but it's a bit annoying, so don't worry about it. Okay. I won't. These swimming lessons have me a little winded, so I think I'll go back to the others and rest.
そっか。お疲れ。
Feel free. You earned it.
まだまだ時間はあ
Yeah,
るか
but
ら。
I'm probably gonna end the
楽しんでい
stream
こう。
soon as well anyway, because I've been going for 3.5 hours. It's almost 10, so have plenty of time left at the beach. So let's enjoy it while we can.
はい。
Of course. Well, thank you for the advice, Montano, and then once again, thank you for the subs. It's much appreciated.
それにしても背はそんなに高く
She
ない。
may be a bit on the short side.
相当
She more than makes up for it in.
じゃなくて。
Wait, what am I thinking? Okay, she's shorter, but she's got some hooves. Lloyd,
まだ正午まで時間はあるし、俺もみんなに混ぜてもらおうかな。
snap out of it. There's still a lot of time left until noon. Maybe I'll go check out on the others. See, and she said, like, Lloyd says, she might, she may be a bit on the short side, but, when you see her standing next to Lloyd and CS2, they're about the same height. Where'd that come from? I mean, you see a woman like Ilya walking away from you, it's like, hey, you're gonna take a look. But okay, so let's save here. And this is where I shall end the stream. Because this was a grand old fun old time. But comes down to it, I am still only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. That's the issue. Yeah. So I do need to stop streaming eventually and take a rest. But thank you, Fontano, for the gift subs today. Thank you, everyone, for dropping by. Neko Dave, Black Sun, Reen, Keeve. I want to make sure I get everyone. Sleeper. Thank you all very much. Yeah. So I will be streaming some more Trails to Azure on Friday. I'm not sure if I'll be doing the Persona stream on Saturday or if I'll be doing on Sunday this week. If I do on Saturday, it might be a little bit shorter because I do have plans around noon, which shouldn't be an issue. I'll still get plenty of time in, but regardless, I just want to have the week's plans present and accounted for. But regardless, thank you all very much, and I hope you all have a very nice night. Bye.